Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dinner and a Game, where we spend our time waiting for the cameras to go live and insulting each other. It's just what we do. So, hi guys, welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Tonight is the opening night where we are going to be doing our first actual official playthrough of our new World of Darkness Chronicle. Now, World of Darkness is a very old game, dating back from when I was not quite as bald. And it is a game based around the concepts of playing supernatural creatures. Vampires, werewolves, the Fae, mages, all kinds of things were actually your playable characters. And the basic nature is no kitty. I don't think there's a kitty. Who's got a kitty? No one's got a kitty. Oh, did you have a kitty?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the kitty will drift. Well, kitties will probably drift in and out as the night goes on. Yeah. However, the big thing about World of Darkness is it's kind of like trying to explore the darker side of human nature by taking yourselves outside the human experience. Now, that being said, our happy group of adventurers is a little bit more prone to being like what we do in the shadows. than the typical Canaanites and other Denzians of the darkness. So, speaking of Denzians in the darkness, hello, all my wonderful players. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Sorry, my husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm on stream. What are you doing?"
Tell your husband hi.
Nice. He's our husband now.
Yes, he's our husband.
Okay.
He's our husband now, comrade. Welcome to the polycule.
Yep,
Nice.
The polycule is united behind your husband.
Honey,
Tell him to go study.
No, he's actually about to go on stream
himself.
himself.
Oh, well, tell him to go study before he has to go on stream.
So make sure
I'm
if he has
fine
the right...
otherwise. How is everybody?
Good.
So tonight's cast is made up of friends of mine and other creators that I've met since I've joined TikTok, and I cannot begin to tell you all how amazing these people are. So in order to show you that, let's take a look at what they create. Sphinx.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Would you like to tell us what you do in this magical world of TTRPG communities and the internets?
Oh, man. Well,
We decided
hi.
you were the leader, so...
Oh, okay, apparently. Hi, I'm Sphinx Akasha. You know me as Circle DM on TikTok, Sphinx Akasha just about everywhere else. I am a actor, writer, musician, content creator, lover of TTRPGs. A lot of my content on TikTok is centered around either music or Dungeons and Dragons or other TTRPGs and cosplay. As far as the rest of the internet is concerned, you can find me here Tuesday nights now with Dinner and a Game playing Emerald Sanctums. Wednesday nights with Dinner and a Game playing Kingdoms of Mist, our D&D homebrew with Milagros. On Friday nights with ADH Adventures streaming channel, you can find me running my own game, Agents of the Circle, which is my Eberron homebrew. Saturdays, you can find me playing Heroes Arc with ADH Adventures, which is run by Halfling Wizard. It's a fantastic game. And every other Friday, the Fridays that I'm not running my game, you can find me on the Alex Bomb channel playing Initiatives and Intrigue. That's 5 streams.
Is your schedule as crazy as mine?
A little bit. And I work, and I'm a father and a husband. So go figure all of that.
And that's the part of the job we'll leave to you, Sphinx. Figuring that out.
Yeah, that's...
You and your significant other probably has something to say on that regard.
Yeah.
Next, we have the amazing Milagros. Milagros, would you like to tell everyone what you do for funds?
So Sphinx just listed all that stuff, and I was also trying to list stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I'm a writer, I'm a student right now, soon to no longer be a student, and then I was just like, I'm gay, I guess.
It's not a contest. It's not a contest.
Like, I got autism and ADHD, I guess. That's kind of a full-time job, just keeping myself alive. But I, mostly a writer. and soon to be educator once I'm no longer getting the shit beat out of me by my own education. I am a senior in college right now and trying to finish my bachelor's degree on a high note. But as soon as I am done with that, I will be just sharing how I build worlds, how I fill notebook after notebook with characters and plots and stuff like that, how I build databases, and how I do all the organization and kind of creation behind the several now book series that I'm working on. I'll get published one day, I swear.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again.
Oh my God.
Milagros' organizational skills, especially around her note-taking for her novels and everything like that, are freaking amazing. And if you guys want to see a sample of that, if you go to our Discord, we have her notes tagged for Kingdoms of Mist. Milagros not only can RP and type the exact words that everyone is being saying with the delineations for who is taking what part of the conversation, she can do it in real time while role-playing her character. So that's something that I've never seen before, and it frankly scares me. But
she's insane and awesome. Is what
yes,
she is.
insane and awesome.
You can also find me on TikTok. I haven't been super active because of the school semester, but I have a bunch of videos that I made for the character of this, not campaign, Chronicle. Chronicle, ooh, fancy. Because I love her, and cosplaying her is easy because it's just this shirt and this jacket. And just whatever it is anybody else makes, I just duet it being annoying. So if you want to see some duets, you can check out my TikTok, and I have a couple of more kind of funny posts coming. Hopefully I'll have time to, after midterms, to make more stuff, but you can always find me here. I will be here Tuesdays and Wednesdays forever. I live here, and Ray can't get rid of me. So if you want to see me consistently, it's here.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So also, just to go something I forgot, Sphinx, who are you going to be playing tonight?
Yes, I am playing Malik. Not Malik. Jeez, that's a different character. Emrys.
5 games, people. 5 games.
So many.
Malik O'Cal. Oh fuck.
Now he's combining names.
I will be playing Emrys Grant, who is a mage of the Order of Hermes.
Dun dun dun. And Milagros, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Pandora Sideris, a Black Fury werewolf who just wants to be left the absolute fuck alone with her chair. That's all she wants.
With the fucking chair, ladies and gentlemen.
With
The chair is
the
key.
chair is
I am,
important.
by the way, Jessica suggested this, and I am doing it. We're doing a giveaway tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be giving away 1 copy each to each winner, because we're going to be selecting 2 winners. And we're going to give away a PDF copy of your choice of whichever 20th anniversary edition rulebook you want, which is Mage, Changeling, Werewolf. I think there's more, but you get to choose which one you want. We're going to be giving 1 to each winner, and we're going to be doing an announcement at the break, which is probably going to be around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Central Standard Time. We're going to be making an announcement at the break of a keyword, which is going to be taken from something that's said or something that catches our eye. We'll vote on it. And we'll be making an announcement at the break. You type that keyword into chat, and you will be entered in to win. We will make the drawing at the end of the show. But all that being said, if you guys want to be present for that, just make sure you stick around for the break, and we will make that announcement. But with World of Darkness... I had 2 inspirations for World of Darkness. Sphinx was my main inspiration because he and I started talking about it and we missed it and we decided we were going to do it again. And I instantly thought of Ivy because I have tried to get Ivy into so many games, and she is our goth queen, our goth princess, all wrapped up into one. And so I reached out to Ivy, and miracle of miracles, someone who is almost as busy as Sphinx had openings in the schedule. So
Yeah, I did.
Ivy, speaking of your schedule, can you tell us where you can be found and what you're working on currently?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Gamer the Girl on TikTok, Instagram, etc. You can catch me every Monday over on Dice Cream Sandwich, where I play Feral, who's a Circle of the Moon Druid. I've been on that stream for almost 2 years now, which is awesome. Every Tuesday, you can now find me here. Wednesdays are up in the air. Might be doing something over on my channel. We're not sure yet. Every other Friday, you can find me DMing an entire girls' game. I actually recently lost a stream, so that's number 3. However, my biggest and favorite project is my Rolling for Charity stream, of which I'm a committee and board member on, that we've been doing annually since last year. We are coming up on our second year, so November 13th. We're once again raising money for Doctors Without Borders. Last year we raised 7 times what we expected, and this year we're hoping to beat it. So November 13th, we have an amazing, phenomenal cast. It's 24 hours. I run all of the tech. I'm the tech department. So November 13th.
Well,
over on The Show's Mimic is where we host it.
November 13th?
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. So, and is that in your link tree too?
It is.
Excellent. And you can find all of Ivy's links, all of Sphinx's links, and all of Milagros' links in the link tree links that I posted into chat. But another person that I thought of, I had only recently gotten to know her, but I thought of because of all of her TikToks, is M. M, hi. How are you doing? Other than, us adopting your husband.
Yes, besides adopting my husband, I am doing quite well. So, all right, here we go.
Yes, this is another list.
All right, so I run the Council of Patrons tag, which is actually a very big D&D TikTok tag. We have surpassed 7 million views as of this week.
Congratulations.
Woo! Yes. Mondays. Well, actually, no, I don't really have anything. Tuesdays, you can find me here.
You need one day
every
off.
Every other Thursday, you can find me on Turn to Page 394, where I DM a Star Wars 5e campaign. Starting here next week on Fridays, you can find me on Vampiric Touch Entertainment Network, where I'll be playing a character in Exalted that is ran by Radio Free Will. And then starting every Saturday, I'm not sure when it's going to be released, but in Saturday we're in works of doing a Coriolis campaign as a podcast for Spotify for Vampiric Touch Entertainment Network. You can find me every other Sunday for the Nevermore campaign, where I play Astro Hollyhock, a druid, on Vampiric Touch Entertainment Network. And then Sundays, I think on Night's Board, we're doing a mini campaign, which is me, Brandon the DM, Son of Asgard, and Pinwielder. We're doing kind of a spooky campaign while our Star Wars 5e campaign is on hold, and it is ran by Game Master Craig.
Dun dun dun. How many was that, Milagros?
That was 7. I was counting in American Sign Language, so I could only use one hand because this one has a burrito.
Because a lot of this is pre-recorded, so I'm literally doing games almost every day of the week.
Gotcha. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, all these people have their real lives. We all do this just because we love the hobby and we love playing. And in my case, I love game mastering because I don't play. But we have 2 other members of the cast, and the reason I say them for last is because one of them is a longtime member of DAG. He's been around since inception, actually. Jonathan, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Not too bad. And as with all things DAG, no one has to be a content creator to play on the show. No one has to be all in social media. And Jonathan's one of those folks who likes to keep his business, and he will be playing who tonight, Jonathan?
I will be playing Mark, who is a Simba, which is a werecat. I don't even know what else to say. It does not look like that.
It does not look like
bad
that.
depiction.
Well, he is a were-lion, to be exact.
Yeah.
The main.
See, the funny thing is, I don't know if any of you have ever actually seen him shifted into anything that even resembles a cat.
Maybe M or Jessica's characters might have if they were at court on the nights you were there.
You said at court they like to ask me to do it, and I'm sure I comply with them, but that's not a thing I would normally do for just about anybody else. So, like...
Do a flip!
Do a flip!
For M and Jessica, you get to know the one really cool little piece of information, which is that Mark is a melanistic Simba.
He's a white lion?
Black.
Oh.
Doesn't exist in nature. But there's some really great Photoshop pictures of it if you want to search the internet, and they look amazing. And I was like, I'm doing that.
Love it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And finally, the queen of DAG, my wife, Jessica. Hi, baby. Jessica handles almost all the social media for Dinner and a Game, so anything you see posted on Dinner and a Game is usually coming from her, whether it be on Twitter, be it on Facebook, anything like that. And she does an amazing job. She is the reason that we're about to crest 13,000 followers on Facebook. We are like 13,800 and what's the total count
No,
right
we're
now?
12,801.
There's
As
801
of today.
As of today. So we're already, Dinner and Games Facebook page has been one of the key sources that we love to promote things on, and it's one of the ways that we reach out the most to the community. But she is responsible for all of our success in social media, and I love her very much. Who are you playing tonight, baby?
I am playing Sunny Danum, a satyr changeling. I'm not exactly sure where she is from because army, they go everywhere.
And she is an older changeling. She is what they call a grump, which means that she is well past her 20s.
Yes.
All right. So,
I'm old.
last week we did a session 0 where we kind of got into character a little bit, muddled through some things. We started the game off in Sphinx's character's shop, at Emery's shop, which is the Couch and the Quill, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it was a very unusually busy evening. The characters were having conversations, getting, kind of establishing their in-character personas. And at the end of the evening, right as things where people started noticing how crowded it was, I think it was it Rosaline that was Rosaline that was Rosaline. Rose, was it Rose who said noticed first that everyone kind of looked the same?
No, it was Vera.
Vera noticed that. So
Yeah,
Vera noticed
there was one hanging out in the bookshelves that I noticed.
Yeah, and she noticed that, like, for some reason, all the customers looked the same. And when that happened, one of the customers walked up to Penny, who is Emery's ward and a fellow mage, and they accused her of being a reality heretic. And they raised their arm, their hand fell down, and a gun barrel came out of their wrist. And so that is kind of where we left off.
You threatened my child. You threatened my child.
So
Your child.
Huh?
Pretty sure we're sharing custody of this kid.
We're sharing custody of Penny.
So Penny is standing this happened near the front door of the shop. Which is the front door of the house. The
Couch and the Quill.
Couch and Quill is basically an old Victorian house in the Wellington district of Seattle.
Wallingford
District of Seattle. It's an old Victorian house, and the first floor is basically set up as the main floor for the sales portion of the bookstore. There are the main living room and the formal dining room are converted into stacks and rows, but there are still chairs strewn throughout that. The kitchen is converted into a tea/pastry shop, and there is a small eating area off of that. But as with all wonderful contemporary bookstores, there are couches and chairs strewn throughout. Some of the chairs move around for some reason, but that being said, there is people usually sitting everywhere. There's groups that meet here. The upstairs is converted into storage and rentable meeting rooms that book clubs use, Toastmasters, things like that, utilize upstairs. And it's almost set up like a bookstore/community center almost. So there is normally a decent amount of people coming through here, and Emery's does have several employees that work in the shop. I think we did mention that all your employees are awakened, yes?
Yes.
in some way, shape, or form. So they're either hedge mages, other lycanthropes, other casters, stuff like that, or kinfolk, stuff like that. So there is a bunch of supernatural comings and goings in this shop on a regular basis. But this type of outright displays of power don't normally happen because it's pretty much considered to be, I don't want to say gauche because that sounds odd in this situation, but supernaturals tend to try and cover up their tracks even for each other because no one wants to attract a lot of attention. Now, vampires, they mainly only have to worry about it at nighttime, of course, and they cover up when they have to feed and stuff like that. Werewolves have a supernatural ability that when they turn into their full, giant, hulking, destructive force, they create something called the delirium, which forces the human mind to rationalize what they're seeing because what they're seeing is so extreme they can't deal with it. Changelings really can't be seen in their supernatural forms by humans because they just can't accept that. And their minds will try and explain away what that happens with magic as well. Mages have it harder. Reality is actually a harsh mistress for them. When they utilize their powers in front of normal people, not supernaturals, reality tends to be very destructive with them trying to put things back to rights. Subtle magics are usually not a big deal. Throw a fireball and you might be the one who bursts into flames. So, it all depends on what crowd you keep. So as of right now, what's going on is not super over the top because, this could be explained by special effects. This could be explained by anything. This could be a prank, whatever. So nothing really bad is happening. What I want from everyone real quick, and everyone is using 20th edition rules, so we're going to be rolling. We're not going to roll initiative just yet. I want everyone to make me perception rolls, and the difficulty is base 6.
Okay.
It'll be a wits roll for the most part.
Wits. Okay. I rolled a 10, a 7, and a 4.
Damn.
Perception, correct?
Hello, person younger than this game here. So how many do I have?
The number of dots you have in wits, that's the number of d10s you roll.
Wait.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if there's anything that would go along with that on your abilities.
I got one. I got a big fat one. All right.
4?
I have 4 successes.
Damn.
I got a 5, 10, 6, 6, 9, and 2.
I rolled a 1, a 7, and a 10.
So you have 1 success overall.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any.
Did you get any 1s?
I got 1.
Did you get any 6s or
No.
I
higher?
got a.
So you will have what's called a botch. We'll explain that in a second. Milagros, what'd you say?
I only rolled 1, but I got a 7.
So you got 1 success. So you and Vera have 1 success. Jessica, what did you get?
I don't have my dice. I was trying to do the roll thing on Discord. But
Oh.
I didn't type it right.
On Discord?
Yeah,
It is.
I did not type it correctly.
Let me see what I can't remember how to do it in
And
Discord.
Emrys, how many successes?
It's exclamation point roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck on.
I believe because I didn't fail, so I got 2 successes.
Two
But one of them was
successes?
a 10.
Gotcha. But you don't have 4 dots on anything, so you don't have a specialization yet.
No, not in wits.
Yeah, it doesn't explode until you get specialization. 4 dots.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is different. So I'm also figuring out how to take the notes for this.
Gotcha. So you got 2 successes, Jessica. So you got a 9 and a 6. Okay. Are we gonna roll it in the public Discord channel?
Oh my god!
So everyone can see.
I'm sorry, it was what
No,
was
it's
up. I'm
perfectly
sorry.
fine. It's perfectly fine. That'll be funny. All right, so so we got 2 successes, 2 1s, 2 2s, a 4, and a botch. So for those of you who got at least 1 success, you you know that they're not just these things in here, but you do know that there are several of these cloned individuals, these doppelgangers, in the shop at different points. For those of you who got, well, that's for 1 and 2 successes. For those of you who got 4 successes, you estimate that there are 6. You can basically your sense of smell and everything like that tell you, because they don't smell natural now that you can see them. Now that whatever influence was covering up for them, they do not smell natural at all. They smell like plastic.
Ew.
Gross.
And so but they smell very unnatural, and you don't know how the hell you missed it in the first place. It's kind of that extreme. And then for our one botch, you're like, what's happening to Penny? And you start stepping forward, and right then, as you step forward, you're going like, hey, wait a minute. You basically you had your phone in your hand. You drop your phone.
Oh, that's
you turn to look. It's like, oh damn it! You turn to grab your phone, and right as you do that, Brisket goes shooting down one of the aisles away from you, and he's squealing like a banshee.
Oh, fiddlesticks, Brisket, where are you going?
So you have no idea what's going on at all.
That's
So-
about right.
So, Emery's, as you're standing there and you're kind of, your hands up, you're trying to think of what to do next, the front door opens up. A man walks in.
Okay.
He has a lab coat on that is unbuttoned at the top. He has on these really thick heavy rubber industrial gloves on his hands. He's got shock white hair that comes out like all over the place, but it looks like he stuck his finger in a light socket at one point or another. But it's all just like in spikes and different links, and it's just all shaggy all over his head, but very, very thin. He's wearing very thin wire circular glasses. The lenses they're not super thick or anything like that, but they seem to be coated in something, because there's always a shimmer of light that makes you not able to really get a direct look at his eyes.
He looks like an anime scheming character.
Yes, very much so. Yes, he looks like he should be working in a Pokemon lab somewhere for Team Rocket. He's walking in, and he kind of stops as he walks in the door, and he kind of looks around, and he stops, and he says, "Emery's Malik Grant, I presume."
And who the hell are you?
He says, "Dr. Frederick Rickton. You would know me as the local representative of what you would so crudely refer to as the technocracy."
Oh, fun.
He says, "But I'm not here on an official capacity." And he says, "Oh," and he kind of looks around, and he pulls out what looks to be a stopwatch, and he clicks the button on the stopwatch. He says, "We have 60 seconds. And he drops it into his lab pocket. He says, "As you can tell, I came because I knew you had friends over." He says, "The technocracy does know of your little endeavor here. We have been watching your little sanctum sanctorum, as it were. I am not here, however, to throw any warnings or any dire predictions of an ill fate. I think we both understand that eventually you will have to be put down if you will not see the light." He says,
Oh, hell no.
"And I understand you have all these friends, all these associates." He's like, and he kind of looks poignantly from Milagros to Sierra, and he says, "Even though it would probably be fairly easy to stoke one to kill the other." He says, "With only," and he kind of taps his head. He says, "with only minor effort." Ask your
joke.
protege.
It's a great joke, even. But
It's a great joke, even.
He says, ask your protege. He says, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I need help.
By needing help, I assume you mean needing help with an expedient entry into hell.
No.
Because I'm afraid that's the only help you'll be receiving from me.
If that is your choice, then this would just turn into a wonderful foray into establishing your defenses. And a hell of a light show. But I am offering reward. Because I have an issue that I want to be taken care of. And I cannot afford its information to be bled out anywhere else. So I am willing to pay for discretion. And I want to utilize resources that are outside the normal channels.
So, let's recap for a moment. You walk into my shop, my home even. You threaten my ward, my apprentice. You threaten my friends. You threaten my establishment. And then you ask me for help.
Not necessarily in that order, but yes.
I'm pretty sure that was exactly in that order.
He is correct.
There is a certain way things are done.
And it's not that one.
I
And
must
cracked my
adhere.
knuckles.
I must adhere to the decorum required. It says, if I do not put enough into this, then later on, when I am scrutinized, and again he taps his head, and I mean scrutinized, after I have to go through and rewire this, if I do not have enough threads to maintain the plausibility of my story, then all this will unravel. Does that make sense now?
Yes, but you're still an asshole.
You're still a reality-bending scumbag. What's the point? The point is this. Your ward tampered with a normal. And it was noticed because there are people in the department that she studies under who report to us. I have the report. I can make that go away.
Oh, so your goal is blackmail.
No, because if it were blackmail, I would just take what I need.
No, it feels like you don't quite understand what blackmail means. This is a bookshop. I can find you a dictionary.
I understand what you're saying. I understand your commitment to this, that I'm blackmailing you.
The definition of blackmail is the act of attempting to force someone to do something or give up something valuable by threatening negative consequences if they don't. This is blackmail.
Thank you, Pandora.
Yes. Thank you, Pandora.
You were saying.
He says, what I was saying is that if you fail to help me, I am also going to lose. So it may fall under the definition of blackmail, but I am asking for help because I have nowhere else to go. And I have things to offer in order to compensate you for the trouble you're going to be undergoing in order to help me.
Does anybody not understand manners here? Does anybody not understand manners?
I really don't think they do.
Not at all.
It's simply asking please that will get you farther.
Than threatening my ward.
He
by
literally
coming in here and pulling a weapon
he literally
on
starts
my
to
young
look.
ward.
He said, By the way, that thing is still pointing its gun at her.
Oh no!
He literally kind of looks peaked, and he says, "Do we really have to hold to that?"
Did you really threaten to have us fight each other? Because like that was also a thing.
No. I didn't threaten to have you fight each other.
You just said it would be easy. You're right, but like
You're right. He says,
As far as the company kept here, that falls very much under the line of threat.
I feel threatened.
I feel threatened as well.
"That was too high, Milagros.
He
Couldn't
said
read
he's
it."
not wrong.
Alright. Why don't we start this whole conversation over, put the gun down, and have manners and decorum and proper etiquette, because this is not proper etiquette.
Because the last thing we want here is a mess.
He says, he pulls out the stopwatch, and he goes, "Damn it.
Oh no.
Why can't we
Wow.
ever stay on schedule?
Because that's
5
not
more
how
minutes."
things work.
I'm
That's
with
not
you
how things
there.
work.
It's really frustrating when you can't stay on schedule. We probably ruined his entire evening routine.
Probably threw him completely off. He doesn't know what he's going to do now.
We're gonna have to switch everything to tomorrow. It's
Alright.
gonna suck.
Can we lower the gun from Penny?
And he says, he kind of looks around. He kind of looks around. He actually gets startled for a second. He says, oh. And he kind of holds up. He kind of holds up his hand and it shakes for a second. Then he goes, "Level 1."
Yeah.
All their hands come back up and they lock into place. And they kind of all start milling around and going back through and kind of looking like they're perusing books, shopping again.
Now, let's.
Can you go downstairs?
Hang on 1 second. One moment. All right, so he says, let's go ahead and look at it this way. I have need of services that I normally would turn to my people for. My friends. It says, but for the reasons I will explain, I cannot do that this time. But I can offer to do you favors, such as covering up the fact that your student was caught manipulating someone with her abilities. Covering up or continuing to suppress knowledge that this shop is a focal point for supernaturals of all sorts that the technocracy would love to get their hands on just for the Arite alone. And I would be willing to do this because this is the degree of distress I am under. I am also, aside from my tools, alone.
Oh, by tools, you mean your Doctor Who rejects?
He guy's like,
I'm
never
so
speak
glad
ill of the doctor!
Wait, what's
Oh
Doctor
no,
Who?
I love the Doctor. I'm speaking of your Autons or your Auton wannabes.
Well, yes, I thought it was much better to bring those than the Daleks.
What? What
Wait,
is that?
wait,
What?
you actually have them?
Wait.
We'll
I
go over
would
this
like to
later.
see the
We'll go
Dalek.
over this later.
He's like,
Doctor Who?
it's much easier for the
It's a show.
We'll tell
it's
you
much
what's
easier for the
happening.
straights to deal with things they can explain away, such as plastic men and Daleks. And we're obviously shooting an episode of the show.
Interesting.
Which
Right.
doctor?
He's
Asking the real questions.
He's like, I don't choose to limit myself to one.
Fair answer.
Fair enough.
He says,
That being said, what you offer still falls under, albeit loosely, still falls under the umbrella, and I actively like mime a drawing of an umbrella of blackmail. Do you see why I am reticent to even consider your offer?
Of course I do. But you have to understand another thing. It's an offer I am making under great duress, which means that it's also fairly limited in its extendability. If you cannot help me, if you refuse to help me, if you attack me, if you do anything else like that, then I will fall back to the only other recourse I have.
And that is?
Outing you, using that as a distraction, and fleeing.
Blackmail.
I am being very upfront.
I feel like there's a lot of blackmail happening.
There really is.
Like that.
Right?
Getting outed is not fun. That shit is
Kind of
not
a-
fun at all.
kind of-
Hold on.
Not
I
like a
think
feeling.
everybody's stressed out. Everybody's stressed out.
He came into my shop, threatened
know,
my
I know,
ward, and
I
is now
know.
trying to blackmail me?
Okay.
I'm a
Have
little
you seen-
confused how I
hold
thought
on.
this would work.
It is a lot worse.
Right.
It is a lot worse at the courts. So this is like minute.
Okay, Rose. How would you deal with something of this nature?
Well, Penny really did mess up royally. What she told us.
Hey, like,
last
hey!
Penny,
I
you stay out
followed
of
all.
this. Penny,
We discussed this, and we are going to make amends for that. This, however, does not warrant this, and I point to lab coat.
By your standards,
is-
no. By our standards, yes.
what is this issue exactly? As to why you came in here, caused the scene, point a gun at a 19-year-old, and threatened almost everybody here.
The threats to you all are strictly causally related to your relationship with
Okay.
the heretics.
A threat is a threat is a threat
Okay.
is a threat.
Yes, no.
Let's
She's
not
asking
talk
for
about-
reason. She's not asking for
I'm asking what the problem is.
that.
You need our
Overall,
help with.
overall, the problem is we have two different philosophical ways of thinking about the nature of reality. Theirs directly and diametrically oppose mine. Ergo, one of these two lines of thought must be eliminated. The people who I represent, who follow my line of thinking, are winning in that battle, and therefore every single small outpost of the opposition is to be wiped out like a scourge. I am willing to, at obvious great risk to myself, cover up this outpost of the scourge and cover up the fact that his apprentice made a mistake, used her abilities on someone who is already being monitored by my associates, and therefore keyed some representatives off that then reported this into me.
Okay. You glossed over that bit
He
there.
was monitored.
Yes, that's the bit that I'm referring to.
Yes. We often
Yeah.
monitor certain people who maintain influence with certain schools of thought that lead to the more non-regimental lines of thinking that can lead to these people.
I'm pretty sure the Council of Mages would love to know about that.
The Council of Mages probably would, but unless you want to make
Alright.
that part of this arrangement, we
Right,
can
I
talk
guess-
about that
Okay,
further.
we know about all that, but what is your problem?
Right.
Yeah,
like,
why are
running
you
and
never
not-
ever-
Well, I've been
Actually,
trying to tell you, but
Right, no.
everyone keeps on yelling at me.
because you keep threatening. But
I stopped!
Okay, but that aside, what do you want?
I need to have something
What?
contained.
So we talking like an SCP or like what the fuck?
I was
That's
thinking
so
attitude.
Oh, you were thinking what?
I was thinking his attitude, but anyways.
Oh, gosh. Okay, never mind.
You know what?
We need something contained, and that something is a battery that I've been using for a number of years to power an experiment. It got loose.
Oh.
It is currently somewhere in the Seattle Underground.
Somewhere.
I had means of tracking it, but it has removed those means, and it has thwarted the kill team that I sent after it.
Okay, but here's where I need you to stop. Tell me exactly who this person is or entity is, and I need you to stop referring to them as an it, because it sounds like
It's
it is a sentient.
Nefandis.
What'd you say?
Would I know what that is?
Do you know what it is? A Nefandi.
Nefandi. It's not something that's coming to mind right away. Hence my question.
So you know about the technocracy, right?
Yep.
And what they represent to mages. The technocracy are basically fascists for the most part. They want everyone to think a certain way, they want everyone to act a certain way, and they literally are manipulating the fabric of reality to make sure it's all going the right way. I think I know how to spell Nefandi. It's Nefandi. There are wizards who are not subject to the Council of Mages and not part of the technocracy. And in order to power their magics, in order to gain more power and bolster their magics, they make deals with off-worldly entities. And those deals are often very corrupting. But they're also very empowering because the magics they wield do not attract the attention of reality itself. They do not cause paradox. But they also have to make pretty big sacrifices. Basically, they make deals with demons and devils, or things even worse than that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like something that Emrys would absolutely know about. So
The Nefandi are often blamed on the Hermetics. Because the pacts that they use come from old Hermetic pact doctrine.
Yep, that sounds about right. So you're telling me that you've been harboring a Nefandi?
I'm telling you that I had an Nefandi contained.
Bad vibes. What is that? What the kids are saying?
How did
Oh,
it,
I've
Penny's like, Penny walks over to you, and she kind of like, I've only read about them. They're supposed to be really bad news.
They're absolutely bad news.
how did you lose it? You said you had it under control. So what happened?
The experiment I was working on was going to be revolutionary. It was going to change the way we maintained our hold over the masses. It was going to change the way we utilized the media networks for our control over the status quo. He says,
And you want us to help you get the power source for that?
no, didn't you hear me say
Back.
kill team? I can't afford to bring it back. For the reasons you mentioned.
So we gotta kill it.
Yes.
Them, whoever
Bet.
it is. No, do it look like I want to get blood on my cashmere sweater?
You don't have to. I got it.
And Dora.
The wash is right out of denim. It's no problem.
Teddy.
Just right out.
Teddy.
Hold.
Oh, okay.
He says, "This is the big thing that you need to understand, is that this Nafandi is probably completely, even though he was probably completely insane before, he's probably completely irrationally insane by now. I have been stoking his hellfire this entire time to power the device that I was utilizing to try and bend wills.
Do you know where it is now?
I said it's somewhere in the underground. I lost the ability to track it.
Oh, it might be in the sewer system.
It could be in the sewer system. It could be in some of the abandoned basements
It
somewhere.
could be in the Seattle Underground.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. As long as I don't have to go in the sewers. That's just no. No. Absolutely not.
Yes, you have to go in the sewers.
Well, that's hinging upon whether or not we accept this.
I don't think we have a choice.
Well, no, you have a choice. Either accept this, or the whole situation goes to hell, and everything that you're holding on to right now becomes a war zone. And I'm not threatening you myself. I'm saying that even if I don't do anything this evening and walk away, that once I am brought into question, all this will come out.
Okay, so we get a little bloody. I don't see what the problem is.
Nafandi don't play by the rules in any way, shape, or form.
Neither do you, so...
They don't have blood?
They may not. This one did bleed something, though.
Oh.
What did it bleed?
Like a caustic substance, like acid?
Okay.
I will turn to Penny. Penny, my dear.
She kind of looks at you and she's, I'm really sorry. I'm really
know.
sorry. I won't do
I
it
know.
again.
I know you won't. We discussed about that. That's water under the bridge.
You're not gonna go with this psycho, are you?
I really don't want to.
He's like, then I'm coming with you. This is my fault. I'm coming with you.
If we do this will very likely be very, very dangerous, Pen.
He's like, and why should I be protected from the danger that I brought on everyone?
Got a point.
This is above your pay grade, hon.
I'm gonna look at the Technomage, and I'm gonna point at him. I need a name. Your name, right now.
I gave you my name.
He did.
What was his name?
Something Richten.
I got it. Dr. Frederick Richter.
Dr. Frederick Richter, you will, right here and now, under the witnesses of all who stand here, swear to me upon your power that you will not pursue this or any other means of extortion should we accept and complete this job for you.
He goes, holds his hand. He holds his hand, kind of like opens his hand like this, puts out his arm, sticks his fingers up his sleeve, up his rubber glove, and pulls out a double roll parchment. He says, "I've already prepared the contract."
Do we sign it in blood?
He's like, "It's traditional, but you can use ink
Okay, good.
as long as you make your true mark."
I will
And
take a
he
look.
holds it to you.
I'll take the parchment and I will look over it. I'd also like to check it to see if there's any like magical.
I need prime plus forces.
Prime plus forces. Okay.
Ooh, I don't know what either it is.
All
That's
right,
mage
that
stuff.
is-
Yeah.
And the difficulty is a 7.
Okay.
That's just because you're not inside like a horizon plane or anything like that to make it even lower.
Sure. So I am
And by the way,
Or enforces, but
no one in the shop is noticing anything y'all are doing. There's still people shopping. The clerics are still ringing people up. People are getting orders of tea.
I'm not being noticed. Oh my
You're
god.
not being noticed at all.
Give me the difficulty again?
6.
6. Okay.
No,
How would that
never mind, 7.
stopwatch
That's okay.
thing?
1, 2, 3, 4 successes,
Okay.
and no ones in that.
There
So
are
it's a 10, a 9, a 6, and a 7.
there are almost no powers being utilized on this aside from Prime, Correspondence, and Spirit. This is a binding contract. The contract simply states exactly what he said. He will do everything within his power to the point of personal sacrifice. It does not say dying, but it does say personal sacrifice of a great degree to cover up all of Penny, and he lists Penny's full name, Penny's influence over the mortal, and he lists the professor's name, to cover up any dealings or to cover up the current comings and goings from the Couch and Quill, and to attempt to screen out any further investigations of Penny or the Couch and Quill in the future.
And it all looks legal.
As far as a magical contract goes,
Magically legal.
it is, yes. It is completely enforceable. The stipulations are if he chooses to... If he violates this contract, then he is subject to the retribution of the corresponding loss of his rotes in these spheres that he has used to draw the contract. Now, you are bound to find and destroy the Nefandus. And you are bound to attempt to cover up any actions the Nefandus have taken that would draw attention to the technocracy. Oh, we lost somebody. Oh no, M's camera just went nuts. I don't know what happened.
She
It
looks
was
fine to
odd.
me.
No, it just
Oh
went-
no, on the Twitch, her
Yeah.
camera is
No, on the
weird.
VC on my end, her camera got real big for some unknown
That
reason.
was weird.
My internet fluctuates.
Oh,
Oh,
well, M was the star for a minute. She took over. But yeah, he said the contract says that basically you are required to find and destroy the Nefandus. You're required to try and either cover up any breaches the Nefandus has created, or if there cannot be fully concealed within the abilities of your team, you're required to inform the doctor of whatever things you cannot cover up so that he may take steps as needed. But any breaches the Nefandus caused prior to your elimination of him are not bound as your responsibility.
I'll look at the contract and I'll look at Vera. V, what do you think?
She'll just kind of shrug and cross her arms. I don't like it. But if you're going, I'll go.
Quite frankly, I hate this.
Same. I hate it here. However, if we have to,
This may be the best way to protect Penny.
and because of that, I'll stand by your side.
What generation is Vera?
I don't know if we discussed it yet.
No,
We're
I
supposed
haven't
to,
even seen your sheet yet, I don't think.
I sent it to you.
Did you?
Generation
Yeah.
69.
Nice.
No.
Where did you send it?
I sent it to your DMs. I thought I'll send it to you. I'll get it sent to you again.
That's funny.
That was pretty
I
funny.
had to.
had to. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I see it. I'm sorry. It was my bad. It was all my bad.
So you're totally fine.
Background.
Because we haven't not had a chance to actually look through all of it yet.
Oh, so you haven't? Have you spent all your freebie points?
No.
Okay.
Because I have to cosplay.
You have not put anything in a background called generation.
Right. That's because we hadn't discussed it.
Yes, you can go all the way down to 8th.
Okay.
If you spend 5 background points in it, you go down to 8th generation, which greatly increases your blood pool, greatly increases the amount of blood you can spend in a turn, which powers your abilities and your ability to enhance your physical stats, and it determines the number of like willpower you can spend and everything like that. So it is one of those backgrounds that most people who play vampire and are allowed to buy the background back that far auto buy it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Some GMs actually limit you to like no more than 10th generation down because
Right.
10th generation, 10th to 9th is the big power jump.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So, if the reason I'm asking is I want to know. I know you're roughly 100 years old, but I'm kind of trying to get a good gauge on what the potency of your blood is.
Got it. Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 8th.
Got it. All right. So, the Dr. Richter kind of looks at you all and he says, "In that case," and he pulls out a quill, and he says. He holds it out. He says, "And you may look at it as you like." He says, "Simply prick yourself somewhere, draw blood, and make your mark.
I believe you said earlier that we could use a pen,
If you so choose."
and I pull out a pen of my own.
He says, the nature of the pact just requires the intent. The blood is just a more strong binding."
Intent is fine, and I will sign my name on the contract, and I will smack it back into his hand.
And he kind of he takes it and he walks up and he signs his name on his portion of the contract, and he says, "Whether your friends are bound by the contract, I will leave to you." He says, they do not technically owe any fealty. He says, although your protege, and he kind of looks at Penny, and he holds the pen out to her, will need to sign as well. She does not necessarily have to go. That is also up to you. He says, but she is one of the primary... You two are the two primary people who this affects. And Penny kind of looks at you, and she steps forward, and she kind of snatches the quill out of his hand, and she says... She kind of just goes and signs the contract.
I had a pen. You could have used the pen.
This is. She kind of holds up the quill, and she puts her thumb against it, and she just glares at it, and a little poof of smoke goes out, and she's like, "I'll leave him nothing."
And as she hands him back the contract, let me make this clear. Should you go back on your word, far more than what is in the contract will be at stake for you. You will lose far more than your spheres. And I'm going to leave it at that.
It's like he chuckles for a second. He says, "Now who's threatening?" And he says,
I am.
He says,
Absolutely.
And he rolls up the contract and he slides it up his sleeves and he says, "In that case, time is short." He says, he pulls out, he brings out his cell phone, and he goes "May I?" He's looking at you.
You're making a call?
No. "May I send something to your device?"
Sure.
And he kind of just makes a swishing motion, and you see something go through the air. And you're standing nearest to him, are you not?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a cell phone, yes?
I do.
Yeah. Your cell phone bings. And you pull it
Cell
out.
phone out.
And your map has now got a blip on it. Oh, hello. Thank you very much for the follow. Cinerex? Cinerex. Is that how you say it? Cinerex? Cinerex? Thank you. But yeah, he says, the phone bings, you look at it, and your map suddenly has a waypoint on it that is in the center of the Seattle Old Town, and it is in an area that is known to be the major point where the Seattle Underground sits, which is a bunch of buildings that were half buried, half destroyed, and there is a lot of substructure that has been excavated, dug out, or just exists where buildings were kind of just built around it and over it. So
There are a
there
great
is
deal of tours that take place there.
yes, and there was also some horrible things that took place there.
Indeed.
So, but yes, it is known to be. It's thought to be by the regular folk to be incredibly haunted. It is known by the supernatural community to be absolutely fucking haunted. So it is one of those things where no one really goes there because everyone hates race.
Oh.
And it's almost like stepping into their domain. It is one of those barely veiled situations where the two worlds overlap very heavily.
Fun.
Yes. All right. So at this point, it's almost 8:45. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break. And we need to come up with a keyword for the contest. So I was thinking,
Sus.
huh? What was that?
Sus.
Sus.
Blackmail.
Sus.
Blackmail.
Sus is much
I've
easier
been
to
writing.
type.
I've been writing Dr. Richter as mad scientist.
Uh-huh.
He's just MS for mad scientist.
Mad scientist, MS.
Love it. Love it.
So do we want to do mad scientist? Do we want to do what about chat? Anyone got any ideas? Sus is going up in chat.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
The sunshine has spoken. Bernersa has spoken.
All right. So the keyword for the night is sus. Oh, by the way, my wonderful, amazing cast, because I don't pay you a damn dime, you are all eligible to win as well. I was going to say, you already have access to the books through my Dropbox, but this will give you your own legal copies that you can go ahead and utilize in any way, shape, or form you want to, and not just have to open them from my Dropbox. So everyone type sus into chat and once. So everyone who's already typed it into chat, don't type it again. And if you type it in the chat, you will be entered in to win. We will make the drawing at the end of the show. If it doesn't matter if you're here at the end of the show or not, because we know some people need to go to bed and stuff. You just need to be here now to put type the word into the chat, and then we will make the drawing at the end of the show, and we will reach out and contact you, and we will be sending you those. I think the books come out from it's not DM's Guild. It's
Drive-through
RPG. Yeah, they'll be being ordered from Drive-through RPG and being emailed to you. And so as soon as we get that drawing done, we will let you know, and we will set that up, and we'll get your contact information for you to email you those books out. So in the meantime, it's 8:40. Let's take a break. We'll be back at 8:50. Take a 10-minute break, and I need to get something to drink, and we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here, everyone.
I love this
Thank you so
much.
much for being patient, everybody. We were sharing stuff. So
Suspicious, dude.
Sharing very
We were
That
sharing
we were
stuff.
sharing stuff.
stuff.
We were sharing.
We're sharing stuff.
All right, so you guys, so Emery's and
Ow.
Penny signed the contracts. Did anyone else step up like they were going to sign it as well?
already bit my finger open.
Partially responsible for Penny.
I already bit my finger open. Let's do it.
You bit your finger
I
open?
already bit my finger
You
open.
don't like have sharp canines as a person. That really fucking hurt.
I literally just, you know.
What did you? You're bleeding
The
all
wi-
over the place now.
The window is like
I'm
you
not
can.
bleeding.
It's got
Oh,
a. It's
I
got
get
a.
blood on the
It's
floor.
got a point. You could have just stabbed. It's
Wait, why did
designed-
they get to get blood on the floor?
I didn't get any blood on the floor. I'm like licking it. I didn't get any blood on the floor.
Oh, by the
Don't
way,
get blood on my floor.
Vera,
I got blood on the floor.
Vera.
Yes. Oh, I know.
No, make me a willpower roll, DC
Yeah,
6.
that's what I was waiting for.
Your blood pool is great, so it's DC 5 actually because you got over half. So
Okay.
but it's not a hard DC, but roll me a number of D10s equal to your willpower.
Okay. So that
I'm
is,
holding
that one's
her.
5, that's a 1, and that one is a 10.
Okay, so a 1 and a 10.
Yeah, and then I...
Now, and willpower rolls do explode no matter what. You don't have to have X amount. So the 10 does explode, so you get to roll another die.
Okay.
And do you...
Oh, that's a 6.
Excellent. So you, other than the 10 and the 1, did you have anything else above a 5?
I had a 5.
A 5? So now you have 2 successes, which is more than enough. The smell of Pandora's blood... Mortal's blood is absolutely intoxicating. It's just like, and as they describe it, feeding is the most powerful sensation a vampire has. And as it replicates to humans, it is on an intensity level of insane amounts of traumatic pain, but flip that over to that level of pleasure. Like breaking your fucking femur levels of pain, but it's pleasure instead. It's ecstatic. So human blood smells like ambrosia to you. Pandora's blood smells like ambrosia if Monster made it. It is
Monster
like
energy drink.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Lord.
It smells
amazing.
like it's almost too powerful.
Amazing.
And I don't know if you've if you're gonna put in your background that you've ever encountered lupines before or werewolves before, but this is never an easy thing to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
Some vampires actually try to hunt werewolves just because they become addicted to drinking their blood.
I'll sign.
I'll sign. You're gonna sign? He's like, Mage's like, okay, but we're time, hurry, signing.
It's fine. I have plenty.
I love the degree of petty this is.
What? A little bit.
Rosaline
Just
is
so you
gonna
know.
sign.
Rosaline
She's gonna
signs.
do a lovely flourish of her signature, which takes a minute.
Do you just sign with a pen, or do you actually?
She has her own pen.
Of
Pen,
course
of
she
course.
does. It's like a Gucci pen.
No,
I don't know.
Gold sparkles.
Gold sparkles.
no, it's a pen. Really nice and has like pink sparkles and stuff. And
Yeah.
then she signs, and there's glitter all over the parchment now.
Yeah.
So we
They're
have
on my floor.
we have
Not on your floor.
it's not on your floor. So now we have everyone signing except for Mark. Are you signing, Mark?
I'm just sitting in the chair that's now been moved by the bay window, comfortably sitting there, just trying to pretend like none of this is happening while paying complete attention to it all at the same time.
So you're
I'm
not.
just hoping nobody's noticed that I've moved the chair yet. Like, I'm sprawled out,
I
drawing
think-
a chair, just laying there comfortably.
Well,
I
he
didn't
actually.
see if I notice.
Yeah, well, the doctor turns towards you, and he says, "You're here as much as they are. You have as much to lose."
Come on, Simba. Let's go.
What do I have to lose again?
This repository of information.
I own part of this? I'm looking now directly at the owners. I'm like, I own part of this? I was unaware that I own part of this.
He says, "No."
No, that's not what that means. That's not what that means.
He turns around and he says, "If he shows up, it's up to you." He says, I don't need anyone else's signature other than yours and Penny's, as I said." He says, he kind of like re-rolls the scroll up and he slips it up his sleeve. And he says, "That waypoint will last until the dawn." He says, "It's the last place, it was the place that the kill team reported from." He says, "As you get closer to it, it'll tell you where it is, but it is below ground." He says, "Happy hunting."
All right. Well, you can leave now.
He's already turning to go, and as he walks out, like two of the automatons flank him and walk out with him, and then slowly the other automatons begin to file out. Some of them even go up to the register and make purchases.
Ray,
Yeah.
as he leaves, I would like to use one of my gifts.
Absolutely.
I would like to just bless him with luck. Specifically, bad luck. You can decide how it unfolds.
Yeah.
I will be
Alright.
spending a Gnosis points on this so that his bad luck will be exponentially bad beyond the realm of what would normally be believably bad luck.
I thought you actually had to spend a Gnosis to use it anyway.
No,
Or is-
just if I want to make it exponentially good or exponentially bad.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright. You're using the Black Cat ability?
Yes.
Alright, so you spend your Gnosis point, you utilize it. Is there a roll involved with that at all? I thought it was just
Let
spend
me
the
double
Gnosis. Let me see if I still have your sheet up too. Nope, I don't have it. But let me get it back
Hey,
up.
Black
Wits plus
Cat.
Enigma difficulty 7. I only need one success.
Got it. Fire away, sir. You may
Let me
roll
double
in.
check what my Enigmas is real quick. I think it's like a 2 or a 3. All right. Two successes.
No problem. You don't have to touch him,
Nothing
though,
has
right?
to happen now.
I know.
It can.
It-
yeah.
It can happen later on.
Yeah.
You don't have to touch him either, right? You just have to be able
No,
to see him.
I just have to be somewhere kind of close to him.
Yeah. And as he's walking out, that's fine. You summon up your energies. You draw upon your Gnosis. You you talk to the Chaos Sprite that you utilize for this, and it kind of like chuckles and then zooms across the room, and you see it just like kind of almost slap into the back of his neck, and he goes, "Ah!" And he kind of looks around and continues to walk out. You are fairly certain that it took hold. And
I feel like he deserves it personally. I mean,
so, what are you guys gonna do? What's the plan?
I will turn to Penny, and I will say, Penny, sweetheart, go ahead and start closing the shop up.
She says, "Yeah, I figured that much." And she says, "Chuck, Kim," he's like, "Let's go ahead and close up a little early. Let's let people know that we just have a minor problem with the gas lines in the kitchen, and we want to bring an emergency crew in." She says, "Start shuffling all the people out, lock the place down." And she says, "You guys rest the night off with pay." And then she looks at you, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so she says, "This is," and so everyone, people, the two people who are actually working the shift tonight, they begin like going around talking to people, telling them, "Oh, hey, we think there's a problem with the gas lines." They go into the kitchen. They tell the two people working in the kitchen that they need to close down early, and that they're getting under and everything like that. Everyone kind of shuffles out, talking excitedly because this is not a normal occurrence, and they begin leaving. And they ask them to, and they do ask them. They use the gas line excuses, and please, go away from the building just in case. This is not a severe thing, but we don't want anyone to have any issues. So make us good. If you can, just go home. Just go as far away from here as you can, just to be safe. As she's doing that, what are you guys doing?
Where's my child? Where's my baby? Where did he hide?
Well, now
Where
I
did he
noticed that
go?
my fucking chair moved.
Oh shit.
So there's that. Now my stuff's like all over the floor. My stuff was leaning on it.
Am I having the issue, or did Milagros freeze?
No, you're having an issue.
Oh, see, not Milagros.
Yeah, for me, you're frozen, John.
Yeah, your internet just went to orange. You are on orange alert. Now you're on red alert.
Yeah, you're on red
now you're
alert
back on
mine.
orange alert.
I have you on orange.
Yeah, you're on orange
I can hear you all now. I couldn't hear what Milagros said earlier.
She was saying, "Go ahead, Milagros. Please repeat, because that was wonderful."
Well, now I noticed that my fucking chair moved, and my stuff ended up on the floor because it was like leaning against it, and I know where it went because it always goes to the same spot, away from my spot. So I know it's like things are getting closed down, but I'm still gonna go and put it back in the corner.
All right, so go ahead.
Pandora, what are you?
I'm putting my chair back in the spot.
I will walk past Pandora. Will put a hand on her shoulder. I think we've got bigger things to worry about than your chair right now at this moment. And I will give her another pat, and I'm gonna beeline towards the staircase, unlock the door on the side of the staircase that leads down to my sanctum, and I am gonna go and fucking gear up.
All right. Now, did you read the thing about what's on the door to the staircase leading down to your sanctum?
I did.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So on the door to the staircase leading down into the sanctum, there is a little sign on it that says "Authorized personnel only. All others will be vaporized."
I love that. I love that.
So you guys, what are the rest of you gonna do?
Go pick up my stuff.
I'm just gonna stay where I'm at until it's time to leave.
All right. So he's still sitting in the chair, by the way.
I will pick the chair up with him in it. I don't care. He doesn't weigh that much.
He doesn't weigh that much.
He doesn't. He doesn't weigh that much.
Are you grumbling about your chair being in the wrong spot the entire time you carry it over there with him in it?
Yes.
Vera's gonna see if she can get Pandora to slip up and talk to her. So she's just gonna be like,
while she's carrying the chair,
it's okay. He can sit there. What's the matter? What's wrong? Vera's just standing off to one side, arms crossed. What's the matter? He's fine.
I mean, she makes a great point.
I'm gonna put the chair down in its proper place. I'm gonna pick up my shit.
Oh no!
You waited specifically until you had no papers.
It's not okay.
It could be okay. It seems like it could be okay. Have you considered a different chair?
I'm still gonna stay in the chair. So, move me to another spot.
Hell no! I considered another chair.
Fine.
And so you didn't even get out of the chair when she sat it down, in the middle of everyone's way.
No, I'm not gonna get out of the chair. I'm standing by to conjure cat claws in case I need to hold on and stay in the chair.
In case he tries to dump you out of the chair.
Yeah.
I'll sit on him. I'll fucking sit on him. I don't give a fuck.
Barrow's just watching
My
them.
goodness.
Oh, I hate
That might not be a
this.
good
I
idea.
hate
So-
this. Jonathan, my boyfriend said that you're a mood. You're both traitors.
You're both traitors.
Traitor.
Barrow's
This
Looking
is
for
bullying.
brisket when the poor baby ran off squealing earlier.
Wait, you're accusing me of being the bully? I moved a chair that wasn't being used to where it belongs. You picked it up while I'm in it, and you're forcing me to go somewhere I don't want to be. Which
Then you
one's
should
bully
have picked
behavior?
another fucking chair. There's so many.
Wait, I'm
All I
confused. Why
asked
is
for
it?
is one fucking chair.
Wait,
That's
why
it.
don't you just move chairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm
pick
right
up
here. You know you can
a
talk to me.
different
Yeah.
chair and move it to her spot.
Yeah. I'm like right here. You
Wait,
can-
you're moving another chair to her spot?
Yes.
Put it back.
Put it back.
No. Because that's my chair.
Oh my god.
So, while the chaos is happening upstairs,
I'm looking for brisket.
Emery's. Oh, Brisket shows up.
Oh, I'm just gonna scoop up the baby.
He's kind
and
of
just
he's kind of
throw
like this,
that.
kind of waddling up to you, and he looks up at you expectantly.
She just scoops the baby up.
And we scoot the baby up,
Yeah.
and he kind of goes like this.
What is it?
It's the wizard's phone.
Good boy.
He puts it down. He begins messing with it.
Yep. She's gonna go downstairs and be like, Emerus, I have something.
Penny's with you downstairs, Emrys. What are you working on?
I am grabbing my my book holster, grabbing my favorite wand that I call my lightning rod, grabbing my my tablet, which is basically like my digital grimoire. I am like collecting chalk, a couple of vials of salt, my enchanted glasses, putting everything I need to in the in like my holster and the pouches on the holster, shouldering the holster. And then I'm grabbing my katana.
So you see Penny goes over to the you guys have like a 4 set of lockers downstairs.
Yeah.
Because employees can come down here and like they can store stuff in the lockers and stuff like that. Penny goes over to one of the lockers and she does this number. Taps twice in the left corner, taps twice in the right corner, and then taps twice in the middle. The locker pops open and you can see that the locker is deeper than it should be. And she kind of reaches in and she pulls out a big long leather duster and she kind of swings it over her shoulders. But did we establish how tall is Penny?
Penny would probably be about 5'9", 5'10".
Okay, so she throws it around her. It goes almost down to her heels and of her shoes. And you see that normally it would be like moving really well. It doesn't move very much. It swings around her kind of heavy. And then she like reaches into the locker and she says, I'm not as well versed as you are. And she pulls out a gun, a 9mm, and she cocks it and she puts it on. And then she puts it down like on the table and she swings out a shoulder holster and she takes off the coat. She puts the shoulder holster on. She holsters the gun and you see her reaching in. She pulls out clips and puts them in the other side of the shoulder holster. And she says,
"It's not for me, but I can't knock your game."
And she's like, oh, and she kind of like she taps each one of the clips. She's like, silver, mercury, and she says, holy water.
And I will like give like a one-armed hug. That's my girl.
Yes. Hellboy.
You might want to go for cold iron. Just saying.
So what is Rose and what are Rose and oh my god, Jessica.
Brisket?
No. Rose and Sunny doing?
Rose went downstairs.
Okay. Oh, you're going downstairs after them?
Because the technology smart people are downstairs.
Oh, okay. So you go down, you start heading downstairs, and as you come downstairs, you see Penny is like, decking out. She's holstering a gun, and she says, "Does your whole thing with tech apply to weapons?" Wait. If I give you a gun, what are the odds you're going to shoot me by accident?
I just kind of lean over to Penny. I don't know that I would risk it.
She's like, from what I read, whatever we're going up against is going to eat bullets like they're candy.
I will.
You, it's like a 70-80% probability. Yes, I will.
She closes the locker door. Never mind.
But
Rose, how do you feel about knives?
Is this one of those things where if you have a knife, it's already too late?
Yeah.
Okay.
But no,
I'm
she holds
gonna
up the phone. Guess
like,
what I have?
You forgot your password already?
No.
That's not her
That's
phone.
not my phone.
Whose phone is it?
No.
Thank you, DM Eric D, for following us. We really appreciate it. Penny goes running over and she like grabs the phone for you. She spins it around and she's like looking at it and she's like, "It's unlocked." She kind of like, she's like, "What would the council give for this?"
Download everything and yeah, let's
He has a pin on his security, so I'm gonna have to keep on wiggling my finger on this damn thing to keep it from locking again.
That's fair.
Or you can
Yeah.
just give it back to me.
Or we can get this to the council. We can actually do something really, really good with this.
Okay.
It's like, that means we let them know that we're working for him.
Only for now.
How did you get this unlocked?
I
That's
didn't do it.
Who did it?
Then who?
Oh yeah,
did
they
it?
can't see brisket.
Oh, sorry. It's a Faye thing.
It's a little Faye thing that I have.
Okay, well, can the little Faye thing do it again later?
Yes, probably.
Then why don't we
If I
put
brought-
this somewhere safe and we take care of that later on? Dad?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, if you're going to possibly die for me, you might as well get the honorific." And she slides it into the top shelf of her locker. He says,
Rosalie just starts crying because this is beautiful.
I'm kind of like in shock and speechless. It's like
she turns around and she turns around. You see her fiddling for something, and she kind of like walks up to you and she says, "So, this was gonna be your Samhain present." She says, "But I guess it's better now." And she kind of like she reaches up over your head and she drops a chain over your neck. And you, as it swings down, you feel an effect. And as you look down on it, there is a pentagram made of what looks to be silver, and it's a very light, small medallion, no more than an inch across. But you can see on each arm of the pentagram there are runes hand carved into the silver.
Pen, did you make this?
She says, "Yeah, I've been working. You gave me a lot to do. I've been working." She says, "It's just going to protect you from some general mind effects." She says, "I know that you don't focus on that very much. And I just wanted to pay you back for giving me a place to stay. And I suppose now, maybe like risking your life and stuff."
I will walk over to her and we'll just like put both arms around her and hug her. Penny, you didn't ever have to pay me back.
It's like, people, it's not debt. It's what you deserve. It's nowhere near what you deserve, but it's what I'm trying to do for you.
Rosalie will attempt to take a picture of this moment on.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So remember that bot you had earlier?
Yeah.
So what you end up doing is you hold up the camera, you see your own face on the screen, you hit the button and it flashes in your eyes and you're blinded for a moment. and you take an incredibly awkward selfie.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
And Penny kind of looks. She kind of like she kind of like steps back from you and kind of looks at you, and she's got a tear running down her face. She kind of wipes her cheek and she says, it's okay, boss. It's all right. We'll get it someday.
Oh my god.
Hey, you posted to Facebook the other day. There's hope.
No, you know what's better? I can paint this later. I can totally paint this later. I can paint it, but you can just hang it up down here. It's just gonna be great.
So basically, your difficulty for any mind effects goes up by 1.
Nice.
Any mind effects that directly target you.
Nice.
So
I will like very like in like almost like goofy dad way, like ruffle her hair a bit. I love you too, kiddo.
As you're ruffling her hair, she kind of just turns with her head under your hand, still ruffling her hair even worse, and looks at you and is like, "Really? I spent like half an hour."
I'm sorry.
It's all like this. It's all loosed up. And she's
Sorry,
never mind. It's a good look for those who are about to die. And she goes running up the stairs. As she comes up the stairs, what chaos does she find awaiting her?
Oh no!
So
I've been eating the muffins.
the muffins, no doubt.
Hell yeah! Everybody left.
They're closing down the kitchen. So as they're closing, because they go to put the muffin tray away, and it's like, so that's 3 on your tab.
Yes.
Farrah's just been watching from her own corner with the antics with the chair, and occasionally will try the egg Pandora on to talk to her, and knowing it probably won't work, it does it anyways.
So Mark, you're staying in the chair.
No.
No.
I'm right here. Just talk to me. Just talk to me.
Pandora, Mark is obviously not leaving the chair, but you also know you're about to leave the shop in general.
Exactly. Like, my main thing is that right now that it stays in its proper spot.
It can't. I'm sitting in a different chair in that spot.
So, I'm gonna go and pick
It's
her
fucking
and that other
everything.
chair up and move that over. And then pick up
a
the
more
chair
comfortable
with
chair.
Mark and put it in the corner.
As this is happening, I'm gonna like poke my head out of the door. Hey V, you want anything from down here?
She's gonna kind of shrug a little bit.
Penny kind of comes up and she walks up to V and she says, I don't remember which one you liked, and I remember you said that you've seen these and these before at least, and you were comfortable with them, so I brought you the biggest one I had. And she pulls out a giant 45 caliber revolver and she says,
Okay.
I never use this thing because it weighs like 10 pounds.
Well, yeah, I like it because you can use it for bludgeoning in case you need to hit somebody.
I understand that. It just weighs 10 pounds.
Right, but that's
Yeah.
part of the point.
Wait, that's a hand cannon, is what that is.
She kind of opens her coat and she's like,
Yep.
yep, they are. Closes her
Yes.
coat again.
When she passes the gun off to V,
Mm-hmm.
does V handle it like it's a much lighter gun than it probably should be? Like, does she have that whole vampiric strength thing going on?
I don't remember. Let me double
That's a good
check.
question, actually. I don't know. I don't recall.
I'm trying to remember if she
so.
has
I think they
potence or
have
not.
heightened strength and
Oh, I don't know if
agility.
the potence is the
dexterity.
discipline he's talking about.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, even if it's a clan discipline, which I wouldn't know as a character, that doesn't mean she's got it. Like,
Oh
Right.
yeah, very true.
I
Even
didn't know
if
It
some
is
vampires-
a clan.
Take it.
It is a clan discipline for the Sombra, but she hasn't spent all her points out yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you want to say you will spend 1 point in potence, then yes, you would be able to carry a 10-pound handgun like it weighs
Yes,
absolutely fracking
100%
nothing.
we'll do that.
So when she passes the gun off, I can see that, like,
It makes no difference. She
It's
literally
for bludgeoning
spins.
damage.
She literally spins it on a finger like a gunslinger.
Yeah, it's for bludgeoning damage. You know, in case I run out of bullets, I can just hit people. And then she's gonna like tighten a strap around her waist and kind of just sheath it there. With like, she's still wearing like a black dress with her rosary and just kind she's the revolver there.
And now she had a giant revolver tucked in her belt.
It's for in case I need to hit people.
I think it's actually pretty cool. What do you think, what do you think, Pandora?
As this is happening, I will walk up to V. I'm not sure how proficient you are with these, but it looked kind of your style, and I hand her a kukri.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. You know, I used to carry around a switchblade, but this works.
But this works.
I figured you'd like this more than a switchblade.
It says not secure enough, should have a holster.
Okay, look. It's fine.
You could make her one as a birthday present.
Penny kind of looks at you oddly. She cocks her head to one side of your head. She goes,
"She won't talk to me. I tried.
Do you have birthday? Oh, I know she won't talk to you. Do you have birthdays?
Tried. Well,
or is it death days? I don't.
Which one?
I guess it depends on which. Well, that's a good question. Actually, I've not celebrated either recently, so I'll get back to you on that one, and then I'll let you know a date. We'll
Everybody, let's make up her birthday.
Oh my god.
I mean,
wait! We all might die. Today is V's birthday.
It is not.
What? No.
This is a terrible birthday present.
It's not her birthday. No. And also, we are not making it anywhere near whatever that Christmas Jule time, whatever the heck it is, y'all call it.
You mean solstice?
Pandora can start singing "Happy Birthday" to V.
Please do not do this.
I feel like she would be a Scorpio.
I'm right here.
I feel like she would be a Scorpio.
I'm right here.
I'll just kind of like lean over to V. We'll figure something out. I apparently owe you like a ton of birthday parties.
No, please.
So you're a Scorpio.
So you're a Scorpio.
Or at the very least, like a cake.
Okay, I don't. We'll see. Okay, we'll figure it out later. That's
what were you saying, Jonathan?
When Pandora goes to write that note, I'm just gonna like grab the chair and sprint back to the bay window, put it down, and slide back into it.
Vera just watching. Okay, anyways, as for the cake, we'll figure out. I don't even know what kind of cake I like, so we're fine.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
out. I don't know what the party would look like. I'm kind of. We'll see.
It could be a small thing, just us. You know.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's fine. Future things.
Yeah.
We'll
When we come back from all of this, and we will come back from all of this, all of you.
Yeah, right.
Do what?
See that Amazon thing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you know what Amazon is?
Just don't. It's okay. I'll show you later.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you, and we'll kind of like make sure her weapons are secure.
I'll slide the katana into like my belt frog and just make sure it's secure as well. Okay.
I mean, it's as secure as it's gonna get.
Yep.
All right, so let's see how far we have to travel here. Where's my maps? They went away. I had them all up, and now they're gone.
Where's the map?
Where's the map? Where's the map?
How you know how old our kids are?
Seattle, Washington.
After we're done, we're getting drinks.
After we're done, we're getting
at the very
drinks.
least.
Oh yeah.
I'll take a Bloody Mary.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh no, it's not a wine night. It is a bottle of cheap whiskey night after this.
What was the name of the area your shop was in?
Wallingford.
Wallingford, that's what it is. Wallingford, Seattle, Washington.
Yes. All
right, so you're going to have to go south from there, but it's basically not very far. The underground is basically all around downtown Seattle. And what happened is in the 1880s, somewhere in the age, 1880s, 90s, there was a huge fire. And it burnt down most of downtown Seattle. And most of the structures were made of wood, very few were made of brick. And the reason for that is that area around downtown Seattle where Fishman Pike's Place Market is and everything like that, that area is very, very swampy. It's a very low plain. It's right at sea level. And so the buildings would all settle, and the brick buildings would basically shatter from all the movement of the ground. So they built with wood so they could the buildings could actually flex. Of course, when a fire happened, this meant that all the buildings burned down. After that happened, in order to stop this from happening again, and in order to reinforce downtown, they basically decided to raise the streets up. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. I wasn't watching. Thank you very much for the follow, Sinlight. We really appreciate it. But they raised the streets up several feet and then they basically built over the old buildings, and they put in new moorings and pilings to hold the buildings up. And they left most of the old construction either buried, or they left it just in place and used the walls and reinforcements and built new structures over it. So this created an underground beneath downtown Seattle. Now, not all the buildings connect, but a lot of them do, and some of the old building basements and stuff like that actually connect into the sewer systems and everything like that. So it is kind of a maze down there, and it was a lot of things were done down there. Bootleggers used it extensively.
Yeah.
During Prohibition, it was heavily utilized as speakeasies, and all kinds of smuggling was done.
A lot of clandestine shit.
And so, yeah, a lot of stuff happened down there. A lot of people were taken down there to be disappeared.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of history behind it. But because of all the history behind it, and because of all the bad nature of it, it attracts a lot of things that do not like the light of day. So it is extensively built out in the underground, in the downtown area. Yes, that's very nice. So you guys start heading down there. It only takes like 20 minutes to get there from the store. How are you guys going to get there? Who has cars?
I do.
What type of car do you have?
It's a Honda CR-V.
Honda CR-V, and I'm assuming that what's his name?
Alfred.
Alfred.
I have Alfred.
Alfred is waiting outside. What type of car does M have Alfred drive her in? I mean, is it like a very nice car? Is it an insanely nice car?
It is not an insanely nice car. It
is it
gas,
just like
it is gas efficient. It is.
Oh, okay.
It is a nice.
So you have a Prius.
So you have a Prius or a Leaf. You have a Nissan Leaf?
No, Nissan Versa.
A
A
Faye
Nissan
driving
Versa.
a Leaf.
A little Versa.
All right.
A little Versa.
A little Versa. So basically, you cannot fit everyone into the two vehicles that you have.
Actually, a Versa can fit 5 people in it.
Number one, absolute and total bullshit.
What size?
No, I have a Versa. I can fit
5 people of your size would fit anywhere.
5 people of my husband's size.
That doesn't give us a good reference. We don't know how tall
Yeah.
our husband
Okay.
is.
My husband's 6'4".
How many Pandoras fit in the car?
How many Pandoras?
Pandora's like 5 strength, 5 the dex, 5 stamina. How many Pandoras fit in there?
Okay, the driver's seat there, and then maybe 4. 4.
So 4.
Yeah, we could probably fit 4 in my CR-V.
Yeah. 5 very, very close and very
No,
Yeah, 5
personal
person
people.
squeeze.
But 3 because
6
Alfred
if
is
somebody
driving.
wants to get in the trunk.
Yes.
Alfred is driving.
So with the 2 vehicles, you can get everyone into cars and get down there. Like I said, it only takes like 20 minutes for you to get down there. As you're following the GPS signal, the GPS takes you down to a set of buildings that are pretty much right off of Cherry Street, which is right next to a building called the Smiths Tower, which is basically an old historic building, and the beacon ends under a building called Lohman Building.
Okay.
And there is an alley that runs off of Cherry Street. On the streets kind of run on a slightly northwest to southeastern angle. They're like not even 15 degree, no, about 30-degree angle, northeast, southwest. And so they're not straight north, due north and due west. And you're only about 3 blocks from the actual sound.
Oh, it's in Pioneer Square.
Yep.
Rosaline actually knows where this is. Because that is her neighborhood.
That's where your shop is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The Art District, which is Pioneer Square.
Yep. And so the Loman building is, it's kind of it's an office building complex slash, there's some of it's devoted to what do you call it, apartments that are single rooms.
Studios.
Thank you. Studio apartments. And the lower portions of it is leased out as retail space. The first 2 floors are leased out as warehouse space. And there is a huge shipping elevator. There's an alleyway down between them. And the Loman building is around 6 stories tall. The top 4 stories are all studio apartments built out as such. But it is a very popular residence, and it's right in the Art District. And there is a alley between the 2 buildings that has access to some doors that go down into the sublevels underneath Loman's. And the sublevels are basically usually gated off, chained off, and secured. But just down the alleyway, not even 20 feet down the alley, you can see that one of the doors is hanging open and ajar, and it looks like the chain has been cut, and that someone has definitely gone in there at some point recently.
I like to very, very carefully go up to that door and that chain and kind of look at kind of that scene and see if I can discern exactly how the chain was cut. If it was cut using any kind of machinery or tool, or if it was rended in 2.
Make me what is the roll? Make me a intelligence plus streetwise.
Okay, intelligence plus streetwise.
Base difficulty is 6.
Okay, so that's gonna be 5 dice for me. Ah. Oh, damn. Okay.
What'd you make?
I got 2 9s, an 8, a 7, and a 1.
Holy crap. So that's a large number of successes. You can easily tell that this was done with bolt cutters.
Okay.
And it was basically someone just brought some bolt cutters, cut it. The metal is sheared off too perfectly, too rigidly, and done with a lot of force. It was just crimped off. So you quickly deduce this was use of bolt cutters, which would go along with what the technocracy, the doctor told you, because he said he sent a kill team in there, and the technocracy does tend to use military trained squads who are just made up of awakened members in order to try and take what is considered more rudimentary threats down. Things that can be basically shot to pieces with bullets.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, turn to everyone else, and I will just say we don't know if this kill squad is still here or not, so we need to be extra careful, you guys.
Yeah, he said they weren't responding back. They hadn't come back yet, so
I am going to put on my enchanted glasses and say we don't know what we're going to find, so let's all stay close, stay together, and good luck to us all, I guess.
So you guys head up. What is anyone making any preparations before they go down? The building itself, it is currently getting close to like 10 o'clock at night. The building itself, all the retail shops out front are closed or closing. There doesn't seem to be any activity there. Some of the apartments up above are lit up because people are obviously home by now. But the alley itself is not very active, and it is a Tuesday night in the art district, so it is not super busy right now. It's what those who worked in the service industry would call a sin night. One of those nights when business is really slow, and most everyone who works in that industry goes out to other bars. So there's not a lot of street traffic down here. There's nothing really going on. So you go finding a place to park was really easy, and you basically are not really worried about people directly witnessing you going into the building. What are the rest of you doing to prepare?
I'm taking out my lightning rod.
I say loading my gun and making sure the safety's off.
Now, real quick, because I know that a lot of you haven't played the games yet and don't know the mechanics. For vampires, you can
That's me.
Yeah, you can spend blood to increase your physical traits on a 1-for-1 basis. 1 point
Okay.
of blood for 1 temporary point in the trait. At the end of the scene, those traits go away. But you can pump them as high as you want to based on your generation. And I think for a 8th generation, you can pump your traits up to 6 or 7.
Damn.
So you can literally temporarily have a 7 strength.
This is good to know.
Now your potence is a supernatural strength. All
Correct.
potence does. This is the only thing potence does. If you make any rolls that need strength, like if you punch something and then you roll to damage, that's a strength roll to see how much damage you do, right? Potence, every dot in potence is 1 automatic success.
Okay.
So for every dot you have in potence, that's 1 automatic success. And also potence acts almost like a dot in strength, but you don't get to roll it. So
Okay.
so if you have like a 2 strength naturally, then the potence is supernatural strength and beyond that, so you have like technically a 3 strength, that type of thing.
Okay. All right.
And your other disciplines that you have on your character sheet, these are the supernatural powers that you have as a vampire of the La Sombra clan. You have Obtenebration and Dominate. Dominate allows you to basically control other people's minds. Did you get to look at those at all?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good. So the first level of Tenebration basically lets you obscure yourself with shadow and become not really invisible, but just very hard to detect. And then the second level of Dominate, you can literally start really fucking with someone's mind.
Yes.
Okay. And then everything else you have, you have all these abilities. Your blood pool is actually going to go up because of your generation now. So we'll look at that when we look at the backstory and stuff like that.
Sounds
and you have other abilities that you're going to be looking at because you're going to have more points to spend. But for my changelings,
Yeah.
you guys have read a little bit up on your abilities, right?
Yeah.
So you know that
Up
you're...
right now.
Huh? Well...
I have them up right now.
So, you know that, like Primal, you're literally kind of, hey, I'm throwing around real booms, explosions, and stuff like that. That's the magical attack-ish.
I actually had had a question about chicanery. The veiled eyes, can that be done on multiple targets?
I don't think it can be done on multiple targets.
Okay,
Let me look it up.
Stealth only, or
I think it's just you, but let me double check that. Veiled eyes, right?
yeah, it's the second dot.
Oops. Veiled eyes. It's the object, but it only allows you to target one thing.
Oh, okay.
And using your realms determines what you can target. So veiled eyes causes an object to be ignored. While not truly invisible, onlookers will not think to take notice of the object. And then your realms determine what type of object that is, whether it's a person, a thing, environmental.
Fae.
Huh?
I have two.
Okay, so you can use that in yourself. Yeah, you can use that in yourself. You can do that, whatever. M, do you have any questions about the abilities you're going to be using?
Nope, I am still reading, and I just realized I did not take certain realms for certain things, but we'll go.
You
We
can move
got
them
it.
around. You can move them around. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But what I was going to bring up about the changelings' abilities, changelings have a hard time affecting things because of banality. Like I said, Vera has like a 9 banality, which means her target number to be affected by anything is a 9.
Yep.
But you can do something called a bunk, which can
Yeah.
reduce the banality temporarily because you use a little bit of fey glamour to lower banality's effect on her. Some things like quick little limericks or poems are like a 1-point bunk. Like standing on one foot, hopping on one foot counterclockwise in a circle around her is a bunk.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say with that type of complexity, that's a 2-point bunk. Doing something like biting your thumb to draw blood and then spitting it, that's a 2-point bunk. You know what I mean? That's basically an old thing called an eye bite. And so that's a 2-point bunk. But you can get all the way up to a 5-point bunk, depending on how elaborate the thing you do is. So that's how you can change and lower banalities for the targets. Sphinx, you got your mage?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that I understand what the magic the rotes I
rotes.
picked are capable of.
Yep. And
I still haven't done my backstory points yet. Ha ha!
I know.
That's why.
Milagros, you're mainly going to did you choose your gifts?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You're going to mainly be enacting your gifts, and you're probably going to be going, whenever combat gets nasty, you're going to be shifting into Krenos.
Yeah.
And Krenos is what they call a Gnosis roll, which is your total Gnosis score, and you roll that with your D10s, and it gives you your target number under your shape. And then when you go into that shape, you have those extra dice and all those physical traits that shape gives you. And you grow claws, and your jaws do what's called aggravated damage. A werewolf's claws can literally rend steel, and their jaws can bite through iron. That's just because they're mystical, magical creatures, and that's what they do. Jonathan, you know your shit. I'm assuming, and you're basically a smaller version of a Krenos werewolf.
Ha!
But he has more gifts, so.
And he can't eat cars, can he?
You can't
Oh
eat
my
a car. You can just
I
bite a
could-
car.
I could chomp up a car.
You could throw a car. Now, the other bad thing about Krenos anything is you're going to be going down to a tight space, and Krenos anything takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
You get to about 9 feet tall, and you put on around 300 pounds of pure muscle.
You Hulk out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
All right.
Your clothes is all effed up, man.
Oh,
No. They have
You Hulk out.
one of the first things they learn is to bind one suit of clothing to them with Gnosis, and when they transform, the clothing is absorbed into the new form and then comes back out when they shift out.
Nice.
You're gonna Hulk out and look like the Hulk, and if I do that, I'm just gonna look like Thor.
He's going to be very pretty.
Aww. But he can't bite through a car.
He cannot bite through a car.
Cannot bite through a car.
So, you guys, what's the marching order for heading down this? As you look in the door, there's an immediate set of stairs that goes down. It goes down into a long hallway that goes under the building. You can tell that this is the basement proper. It quickly goes down the hallway. There are several doors going to the left or the right. And directly to the right of the stair, at the bottom of the staircase, and the staircase goes down a good 10, 15 feet. To the right at the bottom of the staircase, there is another open doorway and another staircase leading down.
What's the light in the area look?
It's lit right now. There's fluorescent lighting down here.
Okay, cool.
Whoever was down here last left the lights on.
How fortunate.
Oh, and you can hear from a little farther away that there is probably a laundry room down here because you can hear like a dryer tumbling.
Gotcha.
Remember, there's apartments up above.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna have my my wand, my lightning rod ready, and I am going to carefully move into the building and start going down the stairs.
Right. So, like I said, you get to the bottom of the flight of stairs from the alley, and when you hit the bottom of that flight of stairs, you're in the basement proper of the building. Like I said, there's a long hallway going down. There's an immediate door to your left, which is closed, and that door says machine room. And you can hear like there's a thrumming. There's probably the AC, the lower portion of the AC unit is down here, and probably the boiler room for the heater. And other mechanical necessities to keep the building working and flowing.
Okay.
Further down the hallway, you can see that about 50 feet ahead of you, there is a set of doors that probably looks like some kind of elevator on the right-hand side. And directly across from that, there is a set of double swinging doors that are closed, but light is coming through. And then... And that's about 25 feet down, and then about 50 feet down, you see the hallway just ends in a wall, and there's doors to the left and right on that side either, both on those sides. And you can see, even though you're 50 feet away, you can see that those doors are like, just like the one to the maintenance room. They're larger metal doors, and they have what looks to be probably a deadbolt on them, and so they're probably either storage or something else similar necessary for the building in some way, shape, or form, but they don't seem to be open, and the swinging doors aren't moving, and you can see the light above the elevator is on, so the elevator is somewhere in the building, but you don't know what floor it's on or what's going on with that.
Okay. I'd like to see if I can locate any footprints based on what I know of the kill team, and see if I can't track where they're going.
What would you be using to do this?
Probably investigate.
Okay. You can make me a intelligence plus investigation check.
Groovy. So that is 4 and 2. That's 6 die. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty for this is going to be a 7.
Okay.
It's always raining in Seattle, so you always track something in with you.
That's fair. Okay. 2 9s. No, sorry, 3 9s, a 10, a 7, and a 2.
Jesus. All right, so you can tell that a bunch of boot-clad feet had come through here recently, tracking a bunch of the muck from the alleyway down into here. They immediately turned right and went down the next set of staircases into what was probably the sub-basement. Mm-hmm. And but as I said, the door's kind of ajar, and in the sub-basement, instead of being these nice dry-walled, finished-out rooms, this doesn't look like it's a finished-out basement. You can see the cinder block walls, and the stairs go down, and it's just plain metal staircases that go down and that L down and go further down out of sight. There is a single light bulb hanging from the wire. Hanging from the ceiling that illuminates the staircase going down, and as it goes down and turns back and goes the other way, you can see that somewhere down below there's another light bulb somewhere hanging, but you can't make it out because it's kind of down underneath you.
Okay. I am going to kind of wave everyone over and point towards the door, and I'm gonna go through the door and down the stairs.
Rosaline is gonna take her time because there's mud.
It's in the alley.
She's just gonna take her time, mumbling, I wore the wrong shoes. Why did I...
Do you want me to carry you piggyback?
No.
Vera fully knowing that she won't come within 6 feet.
Oh my god.
Thank you for the offer.
You're
But
welcome.
no.
Okay.
Do I have to carry you?
From this
No,
point
I
forward,
got
Ray?
it.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Did you go with them, Jonathan?
I believe so.
I thought I was. Did they
You were
leave me behind?
invited, but you were kind of tangentially invited, but I didn't know if you had committed to going.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a problem going. He made it sound like I owned the store. That was more important to me than signing the contract at the moment.
Well,
I was
he doesn't own the store, so he couldn't have.
No, I know, but he made it sound like maybe I did, and I was more interested in that than I was the contract at that point. They made it very clear I don't, but I mean, that was more interesting than the contract. And then he was like, I don't need you to sign anyways, and he just put it away.
So, Go ahead.
So is that a yes or a no to our
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
went.
Yeah,
I mean, unless y'all told me not to.
Nope. Go ahead. What are you doing?
From this point forward, I am actively using my awareness because something supernatural is probably happening in the near future, and I'd like to
Do you
be
have
a
any
little
gifts
bit
that'll let you enhance that in any way, shape, or form?
not enhance it. No,
No.
I have a specialization, not special. I have an aptitude in it that drops the difficulty down by 2, but not like a gift.
Gotcha. So basically, I'm assuming because you've been told horror stories that everyone is particularly maintaining their attention, observing their area, at least more than they normally would.
Right.
And if Pandora isn't acting like she's going to go last, I'm going to go last to make sure that like the tail end has got a little bit of security to it.
All right.
Cool.
So,
Vera wants to keep a specific like sense out for any type of blood or smells of iron specifically.
all right.
She's keeping a special note out in case she smells anything like
No
that.
problem. We'll take
Pandora's jacket.
Pandora's jacket. Are you guys what's going to be the marching order? Emery's went first. Who's going after Emery's?
Vera will go.
Okay.
Vera's going to go after Emery's. All right. Who's going to go after Vera?
I'm not.
You're not?
Okay.
Me.
Oh wait, Sunny and I. Wait, can Sunny go after or not?
Yeah,
They
I
don't.
can.
You can get close to her. You just don't like it. It feels creepy, and
Oh.
trying
gross.
to affect her is very, very difficult.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you just like. Well, actually, you know what? You're in downtown Seattle. You're in the art district, so it's not as bad. But the general banality of being here is about an 8.
Oh, I'm not having a good time at all.
You work down here
Yeah.
and live down here.
Right, Pandora. How are you acting? Are you acting like you're trying to be in the back, in the front? Like, can I get any read off of you where you're trying to be?
Well, no, I'm just kind of like, I just don't want to be directly behind Vera. So
What am
So
I
you
gonna
want
do?
Vera to be directly behind you?
no, I don't want to be.
No,
I don't want to be the
I will
person.
suck it up. I will be behind Vera. I will suck it up.
You know, I think I'm just gonna say, you know what? I'll take the tail end because we need our strongest person in the back.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna be in the back.
And as soon as Pandora says that, I'm just gonna hop behind Vera and keep going.
Vera's rolling her
I'll
eyes.
be behind. I guess I'll be behind Mark. Where's Penny? Where is
Yeah,
Penny?
I was wondering
Yeah, where
where.
is
Like,
Penny?
I thought
Penny
that Penny was
is
right behind
kind of
you.
standing there on the street looking around, and as everyone kind of looks back for Penny, she kind of like looks at you and she kind of looks at everybody and she's like, "Sorry, I've never really done anything like this."
Well,
She kind of shakily shakes her head at y'all and says, "I'm coming." And she
Okay.
comes walking
I
down
was
the walking down
You
the
could have
stairs.
sat in the car with Alfred.
She said, "No, it's okay." And Alfred said he's going to go drive around the block a bit, so
Yeah, that's about right.
he
Yeah.
says
He likes his
he says it's
nighttime
safer than
drives.
sitting still. So
He likes his nighttime drives.
yeah.
so
And then you can consider this one of your more hands-on lessons.
Yeah. And Penny kind of jumps in behind Mark as he's going down. She kind of like, you can tell she's just stealing her resolve.
Okay, I guess I'm behind Penny.
Yeah. And then that
Alright.
leaves Sunny, and then I'm in the back.
All right. So you guys are heading down. As you go down the stairs, the stairs are small enough where it is single file. You come into a wide open area that has brick pillars holding up the ceiling above. The brick pillars look like they go up into what looks to be worked cement substructure for the floor above it. There's pipes and everything running through the substructure. In some places, the cement is kind of crumbled. You can still see the rebar inside the cement. The floor beneath you, it looks to be. At first, you think it's like hard packed earth, but in some places, as you walk, you can see it's been uncovered, and there is brick. It's brick flooring. The brick has been interlaced. There are some places where there is like, it looks like this place was dug out or excavated at some point because it collapsed at some point, but that looks like really old areas, and some of those areas have just been left in place. So there's periods and portions of this area that are just like filled with rubble or rock. As you're walking down below, there's a light at the bottom of the staircase that illuminates maybe 20 feet around it. Beyond that, the rest of this area, the sub area, is total darkness.
Okay. I will then. Where is it? I am going to activate my dark sight.
Okay.
And which is supposed to give me basically black and white dark vision. I can see the spectrum.
You can make out shapes.
You can make out shapes and things.
Yeah.
In the absence of visible light, the mage can shift his perceptions up or down the spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. This allows him to view infrared, ultraviolet light, radio waves, X-rays, etc. He won't be able to discern colors, but may read other interesting perceptions from various spectra. X-rays would allow him to see objects' underlying structure, and he can see in the dark using infrared.
Gotcha. So you basically go over to infrared to be able to see in the dark?
Yeah.
I was just gonna hit the flashlight on my phone, but
so
sorry.
that's okay. That just struck me as funny. I'm sorry. So Sunny gets a flashlight on her phone, which maybe goes out 10 feet. Rose, what are you doing?
I don't want to trip over anything, you know.
I
Step
will
on a
try to
rusty
figure
nail.
out how to turn on the flashlight on my phone. Here we go.
Vera, what are you doing? You can't see for shit either.
Yeah, she'll probably just turn on her flashlight as well.
All these little phones are lighting up.
Well, I actually just like it'll just be like the normal, like you shake your phone and the flashlight comes on, and she's watching as Rosalie is like struggling, and she just shake.
And the phone light goes on.
Oh my, wait, I could have done that the whole time.
Yep.
Yep.
Penny was like, "Don't look at me. She can't remember the pin to unlock her phone."
Well, I guess it's a good thing you don't have to unlock your phone for the flashlight to work. Then I guess that works out.
So,
Is there a stick nearby?
stick.
But yeah, Vera is mostly relying on her sense of smell in case she smells like any blood or anything that would
Gotcha.
catch her attention. So that's mostly what she's relying on.
Gotcha. Mark, what were you gonna do?
So I am doing a partial transformation so that my eyes will shift into cat eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent the willpower point. I made the roll. I got 1 success. So I now have my eyes in this form are my cat eyes.
Are you doing the partial transformation just for cat eyes? Okay.
Yeah, just the partial transformation just for the cat eyes.
Gotcha. And finally, what are you doing, Pandora?
I mean, I don't really like.
Do you feel are you going to change form at all? What are you going to do?
Could I do a similar thing to what Mark did?
Yeah, so you'll want to spend 1 willpower point, the temporary ones, and then you need to make a dexterity plus primal urge roll against a difficulty of 9 and get at least 1 success. Unless you have a merit that gives...
Partial transformations are very difficult.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
I mean, what form would have
any form other than human. Any form other than Hamid.
Yeah.
Then could I just shift all the way into Glabro?
What were you saying, Jonathan?
I'm already in Glabro form, so do I already effectively have...
Oh shit! You're already in Glabro form. I keep on forgetting. I keep on forgetting you're pretty.
I just assumed that was still mostly human vision and not anything that would be helpful.
You know what? Let me double check on the sheet because it says that you become more bestial, so I always assumed you got the bestial traits because you do get the fangs and you get the kind of muzzled face.
Yeah, but I also have a more human appearance because of the merit.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, normally you get all those aspects of it. So I was assuming that you got those traits as well. Hang on one second. Because you also have a hard time speaking because of the size of your fangs and everything like that. 6 inches. Nope, they don't. So you would have to go over to Krenos.
Well, then I'm going to use my cat eyes.
Gotcha.
So I'll do the partial transformation. Because I didn't think until I got into at least the middle form was I going to have anything that might resemble cat vision.
Gotcha. So yeah, Krenos is going to be the nearest thing that's going to have the enhanced source senses for you. You can shift into Krenos. It's not going to affect everyone or anyone else here. They're all immune to the delirium because they're all supernatural creatures.
Nah, I'm happy in this form. I just want to be able to see.
No, I was talking to
Milagros.
And the partial transformation's difficult, but I also don't want to I don't want to just immediately Hulk out as soon as we get down here.
The thing is, there's not a time limit on it.
No, but that's not very dramatic. It's not very dramatic.
Gotcha.
Nothing has happened.
Oh, I see what's going on. Mark's eyes shifted and slid it into cat eyes, and then Pandora's just looking at him like, "Oh, I'm gonna prove I can do that too."
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, fine. Shit. Okay, what do I have to do again?
You have to spend a willpower point to do a partial transformation. Primal Urge plus what was the Primal Urge and what?
Dex plus Primal Urge, difficulty 9.
Yeah, it's really hard. Dex plus Primal Urge, and Primal Urge should be on your skills.
4.
It'll be in the first column.
Yep.
And remember, after the first initial games, I do allow you to move stuff around if you want to change stuff up due to learning mechanics, etc.
Okay. Okay, I got a 4, 3, 4, 9, 10, and a 3.
You got 2 successes.
Yeah.
So you make the transformation. Your eyes suddenly become very lupin in nature, and you suddenly can see much easier. All right. So what are you guys doing? You're still kind of not really huddled around the bottom of the staircase. You kind of fanned out around the bottom of the staircase. You can see that there is stuff stored down here. There's storage crates covered in dust claws. There's old machinery stored down here. And so there are items down here that break up the train, but for the most part, this looks like a giant empty room about the size of the footprint of the building.
Pandora.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
I see you pulled off the eye trick. You want to do that with your sense of smell so that you can tell us where these guys went? I mean, if you can't, I guess I will, but I thought you might want to do it. It's supposed to be your specialty.
Children. Really?
I don't.
I'm very disappointed.
Hit somebody with. I'm just looking for something I can hit somebody with.
I'm going to give Pandora the option to shine.
There's an old pallet that's all broken up. You can grab a piece of that.
I am taking a piece of it.
She grabs partial used piece of 2x4.
Save it for the thing.
She's about to start swinging.
Please.
No, I'm not to swing. I just needed something.
Are you going to try the partial shift with the scent too?
Sure.
You're going to get a puppy nose?
Yes. So same thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing, just all over again.
Ha
What did you do?
I got a 9, a 2, a 10, another 10, an 8, and a 5.
You're good at this. Her nose elongates a bit. There's a little bit of a cracking sound. Her nose elongates a little bit as she almost gets kind of a snouty feature to her face. And you now have the abilities to scent like a wolf.
I just hope you know, Milagros, Mark doesn't doubt Pandora.
I know.
He just figures anything that he can get you to do so he doesn't have to do it is just better for him.
Yeah, no, it works perfectly. She just like you know what she's doing. She just genuinely thinks he's being a dick. She's like, nah, I'm not taking this. And my fuck no. Like,
freaking cats, man.
All right, so you can now make a perception. Wait a minute, let me double check the sheet. You can make me a wits plus. Let's make it wits plus alertness. No, awareness.
okay.
Okay. I am also just kind of using my infrared vision to kind of scan, if I can see any like footprints or any openings, anything.
Gotcha. Make me the same roll. Oh, are you trying to investigate like you did before?
Yeah.
Do the
Where
same
is
thing.
awareness? I
It's
see
in the
alertness.
talents column.
Awareness is not on the sheet.
Oh wait,
It's
no,
a
that's a
special
werewolf
one that
one.
you normally
That's a
have to
werewolf one.
buy.
That's a werewolf one. So,
Milagros, you could alertness will be on your sheet, and if
Yes.
you want, you can try to like pitch the possibility of primal urge since it's a wolf sense.
That's
and
true. That's
Okay.
true.
So like alertness is one that it could fall under, and you could try to pitch primal urge if you've got a good primal urge because
primal
you
urge.
could
I
argue
would
it might be
definitely
there
allow
too.
primal urge.
Okay.
So wits plus primal urge.
Wait,
So-
what's the difficulty?
The difficulty is a 7.
Oh yeah, I definitely passed it then. I got 2 10s, a 9, a 6, and 2 2s.
Gotcha. Jesus.
I got an 8, a 5, a 10, and a 9.
Okay, so you
My
both
boy
have,
is smart. He knows how to investigate.
you see that the trails are hanging. The footprints hang to the right wall and go directly towards the south. Technically, the southwest or southeast, I should say. And Milagros, you smell, because you smelled it before. You smell the strong scent of cordite and the very faint smell, coppery smell of old blood. And it's coming from that same direction, but it's probably all the way on the other end of the building. Out in the darkness. I mean, you smell that, but are you telling anyone else what you smell?
I'm just gonna head in that direction.
You're just gonna head in that direction?
Just not saying shit. Just gonna.
So Pandora begins this kind of, not really loping, but it's kind of like walking in a straight line right in the direction the boot prints are going.
Oh, I guess you see them too. Everyone.
Hi-ho, hi-ho.
So after you walk about another 25, 30 feet, Vera, I need you to make me a perception and... Actually, make me a willpower check.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
So,
Difficulty is only a 6.
okay. So, that's my wits, yes?
No, willpower.
No,
Willpower.
will probably be at the very bottom of the sheet almost.
Ah, yes. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So, 6,
Gotcha.
2,
All right.
and a 7.
Gotcha. So you have 2 successes. As you all are kind of trailing behind Pandora, you suddenly, and it comes on you suddenly because it's obviously very old, but you suddenly begin to smell a lot of blood. And
Does
Pandora,
anything
as you
smell
get
fresh?
closer, the smell of old blood. No, it does not smell
Okay.
fresh at all.
Okay.
And Pandora, as you following the scent, the trail gets stronger and stronger with both that scent of cordite and the scent of blood. Lots of blood. So as you're kind of moving out. The ladies are still shining the flashlights around. Those of you who can see in the dark, you make out an area that's in the corner, the southwest corner of the building. There is a area where the ground is much darker. You can see all over the ground the little shapes of spent shell casings. There are smears along the wall, and in the corner of the room there is a large opening that seems to go into another. It may have been a building at one time, but it's not anymore. It's basically a bunch of ruins. It's definitely one of the old abandoned buildings from the underground. And beyond that, in the darkness, you can smell that same blood, that old blood that's receding like in a line, like in a trail going off in the distance.
Oh, welcome to the underground.
Yeah, I'm just still following.
So as you come up on it, as the rest of you come up on it, you can see that the boots kind of like, well, number one, there's a large pool of blood in front of this area that's soaked into the ground. There's hundreds of spent shell casings. Thank you very much. All over the ground. Now that you're in this area, all of you can smell that smell of old gunpowder, the old cordite being spent. It's like a very bitter, acidic smell. And you can see that the walls, nearby walls, are riddled with bullet holes. Like they were firing in all fucking directions.
Are they recent? Do they look recent?
Like I said, even the cordite smell is older.
Totally
You had to get right up on it to
gonna
smell it. So
change
it's like hours old.
Okay.
Oh boy.
He did mention time, so like
There was a firefight here at one point.
Okay, I've got like one hand on the hilt of my katana.
Mm-hmm.
The other hand is on it has my lightning rod. Okay, things are probably gonna get a little bit dicey.
Penny,
Extreme caution.
you kind of look around and your eyes just fall on Penny, and she is kind of like, she's holding her pistol out, and her hand's kind of shaking, and she looks like
I'm gonna take that.
pale. And as you come up and you like, you kind of like, I'm gonna take that. She's like, oh no, I'm okay. And then she
No.
kind of just turns and she just and she throws up.
I
Breathe,
take the gun.
breathe,
Yeah.
sweetheart,
take the-
breathe.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
got
walk
that.
over to V. The only thing worse than watching Penny throw up is if you had a heightened sense of smell and you had to smell that.
that really would suck, wasn't it?
All right, so
Better
you guys
use
are
the
facing into this opening, going into this other building. You can see that this is more like a maze than it is an actual another structure. There are paths going through it that wind around ruined structure and fallen in, caved in areas. It looks like someone has actually built like a walking path through this that's raised above the rubble. You can see in some areas there's actually pools of water to either side of the raised path. You can see this has been well walked on, and you all know that they give tours down here. So this is like, they've created safe walking paths through this. So the structure itself is probably sound enough if they have walking paths through it that it's safe enough for you guys to go through. But this is also not like walking through the basement of a building where you're looking for doors and corridors. This is like walking through a maze of tunnels. So as you guys head down in there, you begin walking along the path. The first thing you come up to is there is a juncture where the path continues on ahead, winding through these columns. And then there's one that goes to the left and one that goes to the right. And laying in the middle of the path is a body.
Oh boy.
It's wearing tactical gear. It's been laid out with its feet crossed in front, facing towards you. Its arms are crossed over its chest, and its head has been propped up on a rock with its helmet still on, with the visor down. And the head's been propped up on a rock to where the head is perched up towards you. And as you guys come walking up, you just hear a croak, and you hear this almost hiss-like voice. And you hear, "This is the way. This is the path. Follow and meet the one who needs you." And then the crossed arms, one of the arms just kind of like goes and points, and the finger curls out, and it points to the path going to your left.
Right. So a necromancer to boot.
Okay.
Fun.
Are-
Okay, remember how when I'll turn back to everyone. Remember how I said dicey? Yeah, maybe a bit more than that.
Just a little tad.
It's
Like a
smidge.
little, right.
smidge.
Small
Rosalie's
amount.
pulling a
By the
bottle of
way-
water out of her bag and handing it to Penny before she throws up again.
Vera, you smell no blood in this carcass.
Oh, by the way,
And
He's-
Pandora,
he's
you
dr-
smell the same thing. There's no copper here.
yeah, by the way, he's dry. Like, there's no blood here. Just
I'm sorry, no blood whatsoever?
she'll kind of like sniff a little. No,
You see the pool of blood over there? Of course there's no blood.
just to let you know that
All
this
over
is a
the
husk.
place.
Just like I'd mention it. You know.
Good to know.
That is very good to know. Okay.
Should we see if he has any like puncture marks on him or something, just in case he was drained?
Would that be a medicine check?
You'd have to go up. Yeah, you would have to go up and examine the body. He's
Okay.
still in all his tactical gear, so.
Medicine plus.
So you walk up to the body.
Yep.
You walk up to the body and it's laying there, and you notice when you walk up to the body, the hands that fell out, the hands aren't wearing the body's not wearing any gloves. And when you look at the hand as it falls out, all of the skin on the hand is gone. You can see the tendons, the muscles, everything sticking out. When you get up there and you go to you lift up, you kind of take the helmet off and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's no flesh on the face. It's all just the muscle tissue and the tendons and everything like that. All the skin has been removed. There is still no blood. There is the vitus humor that is the basic water that makes up the fluids that lubricate the body is still coating him, so he looks kind of jelly-ish and slimy. And since there's no skin, there's also no eyelids.
Nope. Rosaline's gonna get sick now.
And as you moving the body around, the one thing you notice is the eyes are moving in the sockets, and they're following you.
Yep. Rosaline looks at it. It's my turn now.
And there's only the tendons that make up the cheeks, so you can see the tongue in the mouth is working.
It's like a puppet.
I will lean down to the body, and I will say, "Who is the one who leads us?"
It doesn't respond.
It's a husk with no blood.
You can use your I think it's your arete to see what spheres or what rotes have been utilized on the body.
Okay.
ones.
How would I go about that?
I think you just make an arete roll, and I have to set the difficulty for what's been done to it. Let me double check that.
Okay.
I'm running multiple systems.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's a really gross magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Fondi have things that let them go outside the bounds.
They're foul.
Sphinx,
You don't say.
do you have Prime 2?
I do.
If you have Prime 2, you can use that to see the magical weavings from like a magical spiritual sense, which will make it easier to see what happened.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
And that would basically be
He'll still make his arete roll, but if that's his approach, it'll be easier for him.
yeah, it'll lower the difficulty of it. Yeah, make me an arete roll,
Okay.
and the difficulty will be a 6.
Okay. Okay, I got a 6, an 8, and a 10, as well as a 4, a 5, and a 3.
Okay, so the forces that are being utilized on this is entropy, life, and prime, and spirit. So that's 4. And the effect is that the the vitae, the life force of this, has been retained simply to give this message. The soul is trapped in this rotting corpse. With no blood, no energy, and just enough juice to deliver the message.
Is there anything I can do to release the soul?
You could destroy the body. That's the most direct way. You can basically destroy the brain.
Okay.
The other thing is you would have to break the rote, which is going to be a prime and I think it's prime and correspondence roll, and it's going to be a difficulty of difficulty is 6, and you'd have to you're basically trying to undo what's been done to it. All you have to do is break enough of it to end the effect.
Well, I've got nothing in correspondence, so it would just be prime.
Should I just step on it?
I'll try it and see.
Should I offer up a prayer for it?
Ugh. Just squish it.
Squish it.
Like,
I'll just squish it.
Just squish it.
I could just.
What are you going to squish it with?
I got a 10 and a 2.
A 10 and a 2?
With what?
That is enough to break the effect.
I
You
got
also notice that when you break the effect was done by someone very powerful, but also done quickly, sloppily.
You mean stomp on it?
So I will place my hand on or just over the husk's head. I will mutter some words in Celestial, and I will give it a quick turn to break the effect. And I will say, I'll turn to Vera. V, this was done by someone with quite a bit of power, but sloppily.
I kind of picked up on that a little bit.
Yeah. Guessing this is our target.
I would agree with
Yeah.
that sentiment. I'm curious as to see what else we're going to come across.
Yeah. Well, what's important in the moment is that the poor soul that was trapped here is now
Yeah,
free.
all the motion in the corpse stops when you end the effect.
So they'll go wherever
And
go.
Mark, you can almost you have the ability to sense spirits, yes?
I mean, from awareness, I can sense anything that would be supernatural.
Yeah. So you basically can feel that that whatever was bound to this corpse has been released.
I think
Good or
Vera-
bad, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I think Vera kind of knowing both her own background as well as somebody else's is like, yep, wherever we go, just kind of a little sarcastic prayer hands.
Prayer hands. All right. Well,
Yeah,
it
we
is
are.
almost 10:30, and I think that this is a good place to stop because it's gonna get hairier from here.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Yes.
We're gonna be
Absolutely.
stepping into probably our first combat.
Nice.
So that should be interesting. I haven't run combat in White Wolf in forever.
I have not been in a combat in White Wolf in forever.
I think.
Again, I'm younger than this
Again.
game, so I've definitely.
You know
never
what?
done
I was
that
just thinking
either.
about it. I don't think I've been in a combat in the original White Wolf system since
In my
before Milagros was born.
Same.
Oh my god.
Oh, ancient games, how you bring me back to my youth.
I'm a fetus.
So, we are going to move on to letting everyone get some rest. Does anyone have any
Our
particular
old
one they
self.
want to raid? I see Super Dylan's on.
I see Behold Roleplay is on. I see Critical Bar is on. I see Lark Network is on.
Ooh.
Anyone
I
have a
love that
nomination?
I see Vancouver by Night is also on. Let's see.
Well, let's do something first. I gotta set up the contest real quick. I almost forgot.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Oh yeah.
Contest,
yeah.
contest.
Yeah.
Giveaways. Keyword. SUS.
I feel so old now.
Yeah.
Why?
Because last time I played this game, I think was because we played Vampire. No. Shit.
We played the 5th edition Vampire when we played with Jonathan.
For like
Yeah.
one session or two.
2 sessions.
Like,
We made it to 2 sessions.
well, I mean, that one was somebody moved away and it kind of caused a problem. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got far enough into it to realize there were some really cool things they did with the system that were new.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's
That's
just Grayson.
Solid last time I
annoying.
played
let's do this then.
in 1999.
I was in college when I played Vampire, but I was too drunk to remember.
I thought you'd been playing Vampire since then.
Mm-mm. I started back up within I haven't really even sat down and played Vampire at all.
That's funny.
I have sheets made for V5, but
My giveaway's not working. Hang on one second.
Wow.
Yeah, it's acting weird.
Well, nobody typed sus. There's no winner. Let's move on.
yeah.
A bunch of people type sus.
So
I
many
already
people
have an
type
idea what I
sus.
want to do at the beginning of next session.
Well, damn it. It's literally telling me that there's no one eligible to win.
What?
But that is not true.
Not true at all.
Alright. I'm going to have to figure out another way to do this because Nightbot is being the difficults. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch this later and go through chat at break and find out everyone who typed in sus. And then I'll put them into an Excel sheet and draw 2 winners. I apologize for Nightbot not wanting to let us do a drawing. But I will announce that in Discord, and I will definitely contact the winners on Twitch to let them know that they won. I am sorry we don't have the winners right now. That really sucks. I do not know why Nightbot did not like our contest. But everyone did what they were supposed to do, so I'll make sure that gets taken care of. But in the meantime, once again, does anyone have any idea who they want to raid? We had a lot of nominations, but I don't know if we decided on anybody. Anybody?
I know there was a night one.
Yeah, let's do the Vancouver by night.
By night.
Oh, okay.
Vancouver by night. There we go.
I would assume that they too are playing a White Wolf thing.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being present for our debut of the 20th anniversary World of Darkness game. And we are going to continue this on Tuesday, starting at 7:30. We're pushing it back a little bit to let everyone get time to get here. And we are going to be doing this every Tuesday night, barring real life and barring holidays. And we will be seeing you again in 1 week. Thank you to everyone, all my amazing cast, for being here and making this a wonderful debut. And thank you to everyone who watched the show, who followed. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great night. At dinner again, we always save you a seat at the table. Make sure to be safe, be careful, don't get sick, wear a mask, take care of yourselves, and come back and join us at this table over and over again. Thank you all, and good night. And we are raiding.
Raid!
Raid!